Good evening, baseball fans, and welcome to the beautiful Flathead Valley in northwestern Montana for Pioneer League Baseball. My name is Scott Gladstone. So excited to bring to you today's game, number 36 of the season for the Glacier Range Riders, who come in with a record of 13 wins and 22 losses, and game number 37 for the Missoula Paddleheads, who are first place currently, not just in the PBL North, but in the entire PBL with a record of 26 wins and 10 losses. This is the 11th home game of the season and of the history of Flathead Field. And it's an incredible excitement to bring you this contest. Game 2 of a 3-game series between the Range Riders and the Missoula Paddleheads. Last night, we'll tell you what happened between the two. It was a 3-run outburst in the top of the first inning by the hot Paddlehead bats before the scoring slowed down for the rest of the game. Runs were pretty hard to come by. Brody Wofford doubled and later scored on a Livingston Morris ground out. And then there was an error that scored 2 runs for the Glacier Range Riders. However, there was small ball utilized well by the visitors, and that was enough to get 3 runs across. And the final score, 6-3, as Cody Thompson picked up his first professional save in that contest. 6-3. That evens the all-time series between these two teams to 2-2. We got a tiebreaker tonight of an all-time series. That's the stakes on the line tonight. These two teams have played all their games ever, all-time, in Flathead Field. They'll play again tomorrow night at 7:05 right here in the Flathead Valley before shifting down the Mission Mountain Range and playing the next 3 games of this 6-game home-and-home kind of stretch down in Zootown. The Paddleheads are red hot. They came into the contest yesterday with a 12-1 record in their last 13 games, make it 13-1 now in their last 14. That win streak started with a Father's Day comeback victory against these Glacier Range Riders. It was something I talked about profusely yesterday, and I'll mention it, I'm sure, a couple times today. It was a top of the 9th inning comeback led off by Jason Newman's home run, and 2 more runs coming across to make it 5-3. The win eerily similar to what we saw last night. Paddleheads, their difference is made with their experience level as well as their pitching strength. We are about to head to the national anthem, and then we'll be right back to bring you Pioneer League Baseball. Fans, don't go anywhere. Paddleheads and Range Riders coming up on YouTube. Back here And ready for some Pioneer League baseball. Again, the records of the two teams coming in. The hometown Glacier Range Riders, 13 wins and 22 losses. The Missoula Paddleheads, 26 wins and 10 losses. Their magic number to clinch a playoff spot is 7. That means 7 wins before the end of the first half of the season. They're good. Your magic number can never get lower. However, there is moving pieces, one of them being the 2 second-place teams, and yes, there is 2. There's a tie for second place right now in the North Division. Great Falls and Idaho Falls. They both sit 5 games back. That's why the magic number is 7. There's 12 to go, and they're 5 games back. Magic number 7. Pretty quick math in terms of how to do that. And they're playing each other, so that's kind of the perfect situation for Missoula, where if they can just beat up on each other, that means there's a restricted chance of somebody possibly going on a run. However, Missoula knows they take care of business, especially in this series against Glacier. And if few things go their way, they could, by their Sunday game clash with the Range Riders in Missoula, they could at that point very likely be able to put themselves in a position where they can lock up the first half of the season, clinch a playoff spot, and the defending champions would love to be playing playoff baseball in mid-September. The pitcher they're going to have to go through is the best pitcher right now for Glacier, at least according to the stats, Rob Hamby. This is his 4th career professional start, and he has been really solid in 16 innings pitched total in those 3 starts. That's a little over 5 innings per game. A 1-0 record, a 2.81 ERA. He struck out 16 to 3 walks. That is an incredible number. 16 innings pitched to 16 innings pitched, 16 strikeouts and 3 walks. He's not going to blow by you every single time, but he limits those free passes, and he gets the strikeouts when he needs to. The last time we saw him at Flathead Field in the top of the first inning, he put runners on second and third with 1 out, got 2 straight strikeouts to get out of the jam. The first batter he will see is Brandon Riley, who plays left field for the Paddleheads. First pitch swinging, and a first pitch base hit for Brandon Riley, coming off a great night last night and keeping it going just a little bit. The worst inning here at Flathead Field for the Glacier Range Riders this season has been the first inning. All but 2 games, the other team, the visiting team at Flathead Field, has scored a run in the first inning, including the first ever game at Flathead Field, where Billings, well, they really rained on the parade that was already having rain come down when they hit a home run, a 2-run shot in the top of the first to spoil the first ever game. Big swing and a miss there for McLean O'Connor. McLean O'Connor, a late happy birthday to him. He had a fairly rough game yesterday, but in the end, still a happy occasion for him, turning 24 yesterday. 2 errors for him. But that's just baseball in general. You have good days, you have bad days. And McLean O'Connor looking to redeem himself right here. He's got a runner on first, and no outs in the top of the first, batting in the 2 spot. Like yesterday, he'll play second base for the Paddleheads. One, no outs. Hamby on the mound, setting. Couple glances over his left shoulder and firing, and a swing and a miss. For 2 teams that steal a good amount of bases, definitely the Glacier Range Riders, one of the more aggressive base running teams. They did not attempt a steal yesterday, which is, I think it might be the first time all season that we really haven't seen that. That was very interesting, very unique. Of course, they were playing against lefties that have a little better of an option. This one is laced into center field. Riley's going to round and head to third, and he will be in there standing up. McLean O'Connor finally gets his first hit as a 24-year-old, and it puts runners on the corners with no outs. And again, we're seeing this unfortunate streak of difficult top of the first innings. It was 3 runs last night. Those 3 runs made the difference in the contest that finished 6-3. And now Lamar Sparks right now could score 3 with one swing of the bat, and he does have that power. 5 home runs on the year for Sparks. That pitch will miss. Our umpiring crew today behind the plate is the first base ump from last night as they move clockwise. Arturo Belmonte behind the plate. Jaden Goodry is over at first, and Mike Kiger, last night's home plate umpire, is the third base umpire. 1-0, swung on, hit over to short. It's going to be an infield single. That was just too deep in the hole there. The third baseman, Dean Miller, couldn't get to it. And 1 run scores, an infield RBI single from Lamar Sparks. And yet again, a run for the visitors in the top of the first. Jason Newman now stepping up. Newman struggled a fair amount yesterday, one of his off days at the plate. Dropped his batting average below 400 to 398. Still pretty good numbers for him. He did have a double last night. And he has 15 home runs on the year. Not bad to put next to that 398 batting average. First pitch swinging. And that's the first foul ball that we've seen in the ball game. 8 pitches in. We've already seen 3 hits from the Paddleheads. Go through the lineup real quick for the visiting kids from Zootown. Riley, O'Connor, and Sparks. You all saw them. They all got singles. Newman bats 4th, Gatewood 5th, Greenwald 6th. The bottom 3 is Thompson, Perez, and Willman. That one missing low and in just off the shoe tops of Jason Newman. Count goes to 1-1. No outs, runners on first and second. It's a 1-0 contest already in favor of the visiting Missoula Paddleheads, trying to take an all-time series lead on the Glacier Range Riders. Game 2 of a 6-game series between these two sides. Ball there, puts the count at 2-1, no outs. On second is O'Connor. On first is Sparks. Newman facing Hamby at the plate. These are two guys that each are menacing in their look. If you know either of them, you know how nice the guys they are. But they both got good beards. They are both tall. They are both big and strong. And I'm sure they could hold their own if they were able to get in any sort of physical altercation. 2-2 coming in. Skips in the dirt. Count goes to 3-2 now. Newman stands 6'4", 280, while Hamby stands 6'7", 250. (3-2) with no outs. The pitch comes in, fouled off by Newman. Gatewood on deck, Greenwald in the hold. The defensive alignment for the Glacier Range Riders tonight. Davis, the former Paddlehead, is behind the plate. He catches against his former team. He was a DH last night. Mccabe over at third, Broussard at short, Cash at second, Wofford at first, and infield. It's unchanged from yesterday. The outfield from left to right is Miller, Mcconnell, and Linscott. As the 3-2 is hit, and it's through the 56 hole. Going to be an RBI single for Jason Newman as McLean O'Connor comes around to score. And 4 straight hits to start this ball game for the Missoula Paddleheads. 2-0 now in favor of the visitors. Nick Gatewood now coming up. And we'll see how long it takes before the pitching coach, Mike Spears, comes out and has a conversation with his pitcher, Hamby. As this has not gone the way that Rob Hamby has wanted it. This one is hit weakly into shallow center field, and a much-needed one pitch out there for Hamby, who finally is able to grab that first out of the inning. Sparks stays on second, and Newman stays on first. And now Keaton Greenwald steps up to the plate. Keaton Greenwald playing center field for the Paddleheads today is the 6'3" right-hander. It's originally from New Mexico. Played his ball in West Texas on the Panhandle for Lubbock Christian, D2 school there. Foul ball starts off the at-bat for Keaton Greenwald. Greenwald did spend some time in the Phillies organization, most recently before Missoula, playing for the Jersey Shore Blue Claws. 0-1. Coming into Greenwald, we got runners on first and second here with one out in the top of the first. 2-0, the Paddleheads lead. The pitch, check swing. I guess he got a piece of that. That's what our home plate umpire, Arturo Belmonte, said, that was nicked by the bat. But that is why he is right behind home plate. Probably heard more of an audio cue than a visual one, as it didn't look like the bluff was much, but call it a foul ball. Count goes to 0-2. Hamby steps off. Going to reset here. Game time temperature 73 degrees. It is a day where you can feel that heat due to the sun beating down pretty good. Pitch misses. Count goes to 1-2. And again, Hamby will step off. Glacier Range Riders in their home whites. White jerseys, white pants. Green lettering as the ball misses outside. 2-2 now, one out, runners on first and second for Keaton Greenwald. Red numbering on the front numbers and green caps, or the front numbers and green caps for the Range Riders. On the other side, they got the tie-dye rocking for the Missoula Paddleheads, as Rob Hamby has had enough of Lamar Sparks over at second, forced him to step off a couple times, and that time is the first time he actually threw a pump fake over there to keep Lamar Sparks from going too far. Ooh. That one, a 2-2 pitch that just missed the zone, says Arturo Belmonte. A call that you really want to have if you're a fan of the hometown Glacier Range Riders today. Count goes to 3-2 now with one out. A long pause from Hamby, who compared to Andrew Stout, the last night's starter for Glacier, moves a lot slower. This one is hit back to second. There will be no flip over to first, or no flip over to second, and then a throw to first that was just in time. Cash, a little bit of a hesitation almost on that flip where he was thinking about second. Almost lost the ball, it seems like. Kind of snow-coned it there, but works out as a 4-3 ground out. Keaton Greenwald really didn't like the call. He seemed pretty astounded. Sparks moves up to third, Newman up to second, now two out, so it does take any sacrifice off the board for Cameron Thompson. Thompson playing third base today, and he will step up with two outs and two runners in scoring position. First pitch goes inside, Newman on second. In theory, will be going on most contact from second base. And you take a look at his size and you think he doesn't have that much speed, but he did score on two sacrifice flies last night. 1-0, two outs. Sparks on third. And that pitch is duffled out to left field, and it drifts foul out of play. Count goes to 1-1. Dean Miller didn't give too much of a chase of that one. Cameron Thompson on the year, 286 batting average. He got 4 home runs and 26 RBIs. A chance to get at least 2 more here. As he went, ooh. I thought the home plate umpire, Arturo Belmonte, was saying that he went there. And because you motion forward to say that the batter went, and that is, that one's tough because the third base umpire, Mike Kiger, is in no place to make that call. any better than the home plate umpire is. But Arturo Belmonte says to Nick Hogan that it's not his call to make, and he has to appeal it over there, which is not true. You can say that a batter went. That one, even if that was whole plate off the zone, I think just because of the mental back and forth you have as an umpire, that one going to give the benefit of the doubt on a strike call there. Count goes to 2-2. 2 outs, runners on second and third. A big pitch from Hamby trying to get out of this inning with only allowing 2 Paddleheads to score. Breaking ball, oh my goodness, and Belmonte doesn't give him the call there, and it took a couple innings for the crowd to really get into it last night, and it's taken us all of 2/3 of an inning as Nick Hogan is playing with fire, and he is already having plenty of words to say to Arturo Belmonte. And a warning is issued to Nick Hogan. We have never seen a Glacier Range Rider ejected here at Flathead Field. And Belmonte is still talking back and forth with him. I'm just trying to hear some of that dialogue now because I'm not too far behind where it's actually happening, but essentially something along the lines of, I heard you the first time that you commented, and in general, you're not supposed to argue balls and strikes that much, but I've seen it plenty from both coaches and players in this league. A ball loads the bases, strike ends the inning. The 3-2 coming in, and it's swung on, and it's out to center field. It's going to get down, and it's going to score 2 runs. A 2 RBI double right after an at-bat that there was plenty of disagreements from the Glacier side. Doesn't matter now. What's done is done, and it's 4-0, Paddleheads in front. There's definitely some resentment, you could call it, that is carrying over from last night where Mccabe was behind the plate, and there was a lot of calls that looked to be essentially where the outside of the plate is for right-handed batters, and there were two straight strikeouts looking against Brant Broussard. That Broussard, who is a really mild-tempered, nice kid, was pretty animated about. And obviously the manager, the skipper for Glacier, Nick Hogan, was not happy with those calls either. I thought he got fairly close to maybe being tossed in that game last night, and he's clearly got himself pretty close already. He's picked up a warning in the top of the first inning, and plenty of sarcastic applauses on the strike call there. Henderson Perez is the man up after Thompson's 2 RBI double to make it 4-0 in favor of the visiting Paddleheads. This one is hit weakly down the third base line. Mccabe will charge. Mccabe will throw, and it's safe over at first. The run scores from second as Thompson was just flying around. It was a head-first dive in there by Henderson Perez. Call it an infield RBI single as the runner scores from second and makes it 5-0 in favor of the Missoula Paddleheads. Nick Hogan, who usually occupies the top step or the second to highest step in the dugout for the Range Riders, has evacuated that premises. As, of course, we get it again. Another few chirps from the audience after a opening pitch strike there. 0-1. That one's hit to second and beyond the dive of Brant Broussard. Another hit there, and this is Rob Hamby, who in his last outing at home here at Flathead Field allowed 2 hits in 6 innings. All season, Rob Hamby has only allowed 19 hits, and he's allowed 7 as the Missoula Paddleheads will bat around. Brandon Riley, who led off this game with a laced single up the middle, will now bat for the second time this inning and fouls off the first pitch. Hamby's pitch count, even with the 2 runs that scored initially in this inning, was still looking pretty good. If one of those strike calls would have gone the way of the Glacier Range Riders, he could have got out of the inning with less than 20 pitches thrown. However, that at-bat that was continued and then turned into a 2 RBI double clearly took a toll out on him. This one over to Brant Broussard, who will throw, and it will be off the glove of Ryan Cash. And Cash took a little bit of a knock there from the hard slide that came in, feet-first slide that came in from Willman. Don't know how much contact was, and that will go down as a throwing error on Brant Broussard. So no more runs this inning will be counted as earned against Rob Hamby, but his ERA has already took a skyrocket up with the 5 earned runs only through 2/3 of the inning. Hamby will throw pitch number 34, and he'll skip it in the dirt. One and 0 is the count now. 2 outs, bases loaded here, and a chance to make this more, and it is. That one is going to get down in the gap. Mcconnell comes over to get it, and the stop sign will be up at third, but a 2 RBI double, the second of the inning by the Paddleheads, as McLean O'Connor now 2 for 2 on the game after that one. It's a touchdown in inning number 1 for the Paddleheads, 7-0 now in favor of the visitors. No warm-ups going on in the bullpen. You don't expect that in general in the first. Hamby just trying to get the 3rd out of this inning, and he's been trying for a while. 2 runs came across before he was able to get to 2 outs. And then it's been at a standstill and ring around the rosy as Lamar Sparks bats for the second time. 1 for 1 already with a single earlier this inning. That pitch is a called ball. Count goes now to 1-1. Big swing and a miss from Lamar Sparks there. Count goes to 1-2. Newman on deck looking for his second at-bat of the inning. Gatewood in the hole, and take a look at this Paddlehead squad these past couple games. I mean, they've won a lot of close games, but you can see right here their ability to be able to just turn on the Jets, and in the blink of an eye, 7-0. It was 2-0 just a few batters ago when Newman came home on that 2 RBI double along with Sparks. That one is swung on, put out to center field, and it will be the 3rd out of the inning. Comfortably in front, however, are the Missoula Paddleheads, 7-0 in favor of the visitors. Just 1/2 inning into this contest, we'll see the Glacier Range Riders bats for the first time when we come back in the bottom of the first. Back here for the bottom of the first inning. The score is 7-0 in favor of the Missoula Paddleheads, already eclipsing the total number of runs that they scored in all of last night's contest. The Glacier Range Riders will have to at least over double what they scored, as they only scored 3 last night. Only one of those runs that they scored was earned. And now we'll see Ben Mcconnell lead it off for the Range Riders to try and start what will be a massive come-from-behind victory, but better to go down by 7 in the first than in the top of the 9th, I guess. A lot more time to come back. That pitch misses. The zone count is 2-0. The starting pitcher today for the Missoula Paddleheads is Domingo Pena. Domingo Pena, 6.00 ERA, a 3-3 record. This is his 7th start. That one inside on McConnell. Count's going to go 3-0. As I'm sure every close pitch, this crowd, Nick Hogan and the rest of the Range Riders are going to expect to be called a ball now, and then we'll let the umpire hear it if that is not the case. That one hits the zone. Called strike. Count goes to 3-1. On the season for Pena, 38 strikeouts to 14 walks. He leads the Paddleheads in Ks, but that one will be his 15th walk of the year, as the speedy Ben McConnell will reach with a leadoff walk. Keep an eye for him on the base paths. Again, no stolen bases last night by this Range Rider squad that loves to swipe bags. And you can count on it that with a right-hander now on the mound, they're going to be a lot more antsy over at first. And unfortunately for those who have plans after this game, probably going to be a lot more pickoff throws. Nothing there, as that one will hit the lower outside part of the zone. Called strike. Counts 0-1 on Ryan Cash. The rest of the lineup for the Glacier Range Riders tonight, after McConnell and Cash, it's Lynn, Scott, Wofford, Miller, and Morris. The bottom 3 are Mccabe, Davis, and Broussard. Squaring a bunt, but then pulling back and seeing the pitch go high is Ryan Cash. Count goes to 1-1. No outs here. Bottom of the first. 7-0 Missoula. And Ben McConnell over on first for Ryan Cash with no outs here. McConnell and then doesn't go, as this one is hit down the third base line, but it will drift foul. Out of play. Count goes now to 1-2 for Cash, who is so good at the 2-strike foul balls, and he's now going to be in the situation where he's going to need to do that. Leads this team in batting average, batting .379 on the year. The 1-2 coming in. Swings on it. Speak of the devil, that 2-strike foul ball from Ryan Cash comes back. And another 1-2 will be coming in to the switch hitter out of Plano, Texas. Domingo Pena will throw pitch number 10 for him. The final pitch count in that first inning for Rob Hamby was 39, just shy of 40. That's what 39 is. I'm sure you know that. That one is a weakly hit single into center field. Don't know if it broke the bat or if it just came off a awkward part of the lumber, but whatever it is, it did the trick for Ryan Cash. And, well, if we see more of what we saw in the top of the first, this first inning might last as long as a 9-inning ball game has. Again, we're very early in the bottom of the first here, but the first 2 batters aboard for Glacier, knowing that they need a lot of runs to be able to answer. No outs, and the first pitch coming into Sam Linscott. Pena fires it, called strike to start off the at-bat against the Glacier right fielder. Linscott and McConnell split time at center field, with the other one usually getting the side of the field where they think most of the action is going to come. Linscott spent most of the Glacier or the Great Falls Voyagers series against Glacier in right field, as they have a lot of left-handers. They love to pull it to that right field side. That ball missed outside. Counts 1-1 now with no outs, as Linscott tries to see what he can do here. They're playing him to pull with the second baseman, O'Connor, just near second, but now backing up a little bit. And that one's going to be lifted into left field. A green light will be given. The throw will come home, and it will be safe at home. Ben Mcconnell shows that lightning speed to score the first run of the ball game for Glacier. And an RBI single by Sam Linscott has made it 7-1. That was a surprising green light there, and that was, there were some fast players on this Glacier Range Rider squad, but I don't know if anybody but Ben Mcconnell gets that green light from the third base coach, James Marshall. But Marshall was very consistent with him from the get-go, saw that one get down. He saw that he had Ben Mcconnell at second, and he said, we need runs. And you trust the wheels of your leadoff man. That's exactly what Marshall did there, and it paid off to get a crucial first run, but a swing and a miss there from Brody Wofford has Pena back in the groove. Of course, for Pena, that's a leadoff walk that scores, and, there's a lot to be said, and broadcasters are going long, long tangents about those leadoff walks. A walk at any point, you don't want to give it. But I think the more crucial thing for Pena there, you don't want to give up a walk when you just inherited a 7-0 lead, especially to a leadoff batter with the speed of Mcconnell. That one will miss low, counts 1-1. Of course, Pena is now having to work with the strike zone that Arturo Belmonte set in the top of the first, that if there is any budge from that, Glacier will surely let Belmonte hear it. 1-1. Swung on and hit up and out of play into the stands as a souvenir. It's probably the closest one's come. I mean, it's a unique netting here that's going to take a really weird path for the ball to be able to find its way into my booth. It's the first time ever that I'm broadcasting from my permanent home here, as it has been under construction until this game 11. Pitch goes low there. Count goes to 2-2. Wofford on the season had a good series in Great Falls despite Glacier struggling there. Wofford's batting .286, 6 home runs, and 26 RBIs. He hit 2 of those 6 home runs in Centene Stadium in the Electric City. 2-2 with no outs coming in. Cash on second. Linscott over at first. The appeal is over to the umpire on the base paths. And the umpire on the base paths, Mike Kiger, says that he went, which, well, I said you set precedent. And that precedent, that was another close call. I think both of them were swinging strikes. Problem is Mike Kiger in no place to call that. And I thought he didn't call that because he was in no place, but there he decides he does have a good enough angle to see that that was a swinging strike, as he is placed between second and third there, right in front of Cash, the runner. That's a called strike. Count goes to 0-1. So the out number one of the inning is by way of the Wofford K. Now the 0-1 with one out for runners on first and second, coming in now to Dean Miller. Miller got the night off last night. And we'll see that one go low. Count goes to 1-1. Domingo Pena's at 20 pitches. I mentioned 39 pitches from Rob Hamby. There are certain summer leagues, which of course this is not a collegiate summer league. This is a professional league. But they're summer leagues because their job is to take care of the players, especially the arms of the pitchers, that have limits on how much a pitcher can throw, as that's a swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-2. One of those rules, specifically in the Northwoods League, which is one of those big leagues in the upper Midwest, that is, if you pitch 35 pitches in an inning, you are not allowed to come back for another inning. So if Hamby was pitching in the Northwoods League right now, which he obviously isn't, he would not be allowed to come back in order to preserve that arm. For his college coach, of course, he's professional. And he is 100% under the guidance of his coach, Nick Hogan. That's a 4-6-3 double play that Dean Miller grounds into to end the inning. The RBI single from Linscott scores Mcconnell, but that is all that the Range Riders can answer with in the first. It's 7-1 as we head to the second. Hamby back out here for inning number 2 of work, and his 40th pitch is a nice breaking ball that finds the zone. Count goes to 0-1. Jason Newman leads off the inning. We'll also see Gatewood and Greenwald. Looked like something more was brewing in that first inning, but strikeout to Wofford that Wofford and the Range Riders did not agree with, as this one's deep in the hole. Broussard's going to have to fling it all the way across the diamond. And for Broussard, who is more a second baseman by trade, that is a heck of a gun from the kid out of Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Great play there to get out number 1. And, of course, had to beat Newman there, who isn't the leadoff batter with a ton of speed. But still, once he gets running downhill, he can rumble quite a bit. That one misses the zone. Count goes 1-0 to Nick Gatewood. Gatewood was one of the only batters who doesn't have a hit today, as he flied out to short. This one is poked up in the air. Backing up is Linscott. He'll get to the wall, and it'll get over the wall. A sky-high home run by Nick Gatewood, and he didn't get in on the fun in the first inning, but he'll get in on some fun here. A home run to make it 8-1 in favor of the Missoula Paddleheads. For Gatewood on the season, that is home run number 3 for him. As that pitch will miss somewhere. Don't know exactly where it did miss. Not situated right behind home plate. You have a better view than I do. In there for a strike there. Count goes to 1-1 now. Rob Hamby had not given up a home run all year, and that was the first home run allowed in his professional career, and a good one at that, as it got all the way over that 16-foot wall in right field. Brant Broussard's going to back up and play shallow left field to grab that one for out number 2. And now Cameron Thompson, who had one of those decisive plays in this game. You think about it, it was a 2 RBI double, and in theory, that's only 2 runs, right? There's 8 runs total, only a quarter have been brought across by him, but that was an at-bat where things kind of unraveled a little bit in the sense of they couldn't get the 3rd strike call against him, and then soon after that, that was when the double happened that extended the inning. A 3rd strike would have ended it at just 2-0. And it will be a moment likely revisited in the retelling of this game by myself and by Nick Hogan and the Range Riders. This one is a foul ball, just barely foul down the line. Count goes to 1-1. That one might have got off Cameron Thompson's foot. Seems to be okay. 1-1 is the count now. 2 outs against Thompson out of Pasadena, Texas. Played for the Paddleheads last year, part of a enormous amount of returning players from the championship team last year. As that one is a foul ball into the face. It knocked off the mask of Brenton Davis. But he shakes it off pretty quick, and the life of a catcher. That's why you have the mask there. I think it just dismantled it when it was hitting it around. It stuns you a little bit, but as long as it stays off of hitting anything crucial, then that's important. Right now, Turbo Monte's going to check on the mask a little bit, make sure that there's no damage. As Davis wears that old school mask that just covers the front part of his face. The ears technically are exposed on the left side and right side, as well as the backwards cap. And that one, for the 2nd time in a row, Cameron Thompson has an at-bat that is, at least for now, escaped narrowly by what could have been 3rd strike call. But instead, count goes 2-2. 2 outs, base is empty, 8-1 here in the top of the 2nd. That one will definitely miss low. Count is now full for Cameron Thompson, who's 1 for 1 today with that double. I mentioned the returners from last year's squad. Not a ton of pitchers. Only Domingo Pena, their starter today, played and helped win the championship with the Paddleheads in Zootown last year. But the entire infield, except for Cameron Willman, were part of this squad last year. That one's a foul ball. We're going to do 3-2 one more time. Willman joined, actually, his debut was against the Range Riders earlier this season. Jared Akins, who's one of the outfielders, he's a returner. Brandon Riley as well is a returner from last season. Another 3-2 coming in to Cameron Thompson. 14th pitch of the inning by Hamby is swung on and put out to left center field. It's going to get down in front of the left fielder Miller. And Thompson is 2 for 2 today with a single and a double now. Henderson Perez up now. He singled on that infield single in the 1st inning. And he just beat out the throw from Eddie Mccabe. As that one misses, count goes to 1-0. Just missed out the throw from Eddie Mccabe and gets an RBI on it. As scoring all the way from 2nd on that play was Thompson with the heads-up base running. A head-first dive into first base on that play. And that one hits the strike zone. To an applause from the crowd here. Great crowd once again at Flathead Field. Nearly 2,000 last night on a Tuesday night. Great attendance as we see the numbers soaring up. And it will soar up even further with the opening of general admission in the near future. Much wider range in the Logan Health Kids Zone over down the right field foul territory. As we got a ball in play. One of the kids threw it in play, maybe. They were playing catch in the hill that is slightly open, soft opening, call it. Not just because there's grass there, soft. Sorry. Foul ball. Count's going to stay 1-2, 2 outs with a runner on first. It's bad. Rob Hamby's thrown 57 pitches today. And Henderson Perez will see the 1-2 yet again from Hamby. Almost enticed a swing out of Perez, and it would have been hard to make contact with that one as that one skipped in the dirt, but you see the stuff there from Hamby. Clearly not working too well for him tonight against the Paddleheads. They came out ripping and roaring to the tune of 7 runs in the top of the first inning and a home run in the top of the second here, looking for more to cushion their lead. Time called by the home plate umpire. Don't know who exactly called time, but Arturo Belmonte took a quick second to walk around Davis a little bit. This one is a high pop-up to shallow right field. Dealing with it is Lynn Scott, shielding his eyes from the sun and making the catch for out number 3. However, a solo home run by Gatewood is the highlight of the inning. 8-1, we head to the bottom of the second. Livingston Morris will be the man to step in now with an 8-1 deficit here in the bottom of the second. Domingo Pena only allowed 1 run, did throw 22 pitches, so something to keep a little bit of an eye on. As pitch number 1 misses low, count goes to 1-0. For Livingston Morris on the season, a .293 batting average for him. A swing and a miss there. Count goes to 1-1. Like I said, .293 batting average for him. 5 home runs, 14 RBIs. Glacier Range Riders all-time 4-6 at home. Foul ball there out of play, a bounce off the net, and then a bare hand snag by Mike O'Connell, the third base coach, or the first base coach for the Glacier Range Riders. And a swing and a miss there. Morris is retired on strikes in his first at-bat. Eddie Mccabe now stepping in. Mccabe wearing the number 7, batting in the 7th spot. Appearing in his 5th game as a Glacier Range Rider. .267 batting average for him. And first pitch swinging down the line, and it's fielded by Gatewood over there on first, who runs over and taps the bag for a quick one-pitch out for out number 2. Defensive alignment haven't gotten to it for the Missoula Paddleheads. Perez is behind the plate. Pena, of course, the pitcher. Thompson over at third. Willman at short. O'Connor's the second baseman. Gatewood is over at first as Newman gets the day off in the field, just DHing today. Riley, Greenwald, and Sparks make up the outfield from left to right. First pitch strike in there to Brenton Davis, who has caught a few games from this pitcher, Domingo Pena. Now trying to utilize what he knows from the stuff of the Paddleheads right-hander and turn that into maybe some sort of production. Pitch will go outside. Counts now 1-1. A called strike there makes the count 1-2 now, as Davis, has yet to take the bat off his shoulder in this 3-pitch thus far at bat. And will not take it off there as the count goes 2-2, 2 outs, bases empty, bottom of the second. And there's a called strike 3. 3 up, 3 down in this first inning. 2 strikeouts for Domingo Pena. He's through the inning in just 10 pitches. We'll be right back for the top of the third. 8-1, the Paddleheads lead. Back here, top of the third inning in the Flathead Valley in northwestern Montana. Scott Gladstone so excited to bring you the call of another beautiful day in the Rocky Mountain West for some Pioneer League baseball. Rob Hemby's thrown 59 pitches through the first 2 innings, allowed 8 runs against. And as that one hits the zone to open up inning number 3, he sees Cameron Willman for the second time. Willman 1 for 1 after singling up the middle. His first time up in the first inning of play. That pitch misses low. Count goes to 1-1 now. splashing into the zone to give Hamby the advantage. 1-2 is the count. No outs. Bases empty here. Top of the third inning. 8-1 in favor of Missoula over Glacier. Breaking ball can't find the top part of the zone, and now it's 2-2. For Hamby, by far, this has been his roughest professional start. All part of the growing pains of starting your professional career. That one missing high. I already mentioned, when talking about him and Newman, how they're both fairly intimidating presences. Haven't interacted with Newman much, but Hamby is yes ma'am, no sir type guy. As that one misses the zone somewhere, and you can see Hamby getting frustrated as I don't know where that one missed. And I don't know how much time Nick Hogan has for himself in the dugout, because I am pretty shocked and surprised that at this point he is still in there. After that first inning, that was one thing. But what we see since then, still not much for him to applaud about. And this one is going to be a base hit. And going to put runners on first and second as Brandon Riley leads off with a single. And McLean O'Connor, who's 2 for 2 today with a single and a double. Much more of a birthday present type game from him after struggling yesterday on his actual birthday. 24 and 1 day old, has treated him well. See what he can do with 2 on and no outs against Hamby. First pitch in. Swung on, foul ball. Funny enough, McLean O'Connor actually has a connection with this Glacier squad through one of the staff members, assistant clubby Brooks Krause. Played junior college baseball at Shasta College in Northern California. McLean O'Connor also played at Shasta there before O'Connor went to UC Santa Barbara. And pretty much constantly you can see them chatting it up before the game, as Brooks has all sorts of gigs here but has enough time to have a quick conversation with his former teammate. Called strike there to make the count 0-2 on McLean O'Connor. Brooks Krause is from Whitefish in the Flathead Valley, one of the many communities that make up this northwest Montana area. 0-2 coming in with no outs, runners on first and second. Skips in the dirt. Good snag off the turf by Brenton Davis. Counts now 1-2 with no outs. Hamby glances at the runner Wilmot on second. This one is dribbled down the third base line. The throw to first is in time to get the runner McLean O'Connor, but he does a job of sorts and advances each of the runners up 90 feet. Now second and third for the number 3 batter, Lamar Sparks. That was also hit slow enough there where if it had a little more speed on it, Eddie Mccabe would have been able to tap third and at least get 1 out of the lead runner rather than the trailing runner. Much rather get Willman out on the force, and then maybe still, if it was hit hard enough, he might have had a chance to throw to first and have an unconventional 5-3 double play. But sometimes it's better to take a little bit off of it in those weak grounders. Especially in a situation like that, they'll do the trick for you. McLean O'Connor almost beat it out, too. Good wheels from him, just not enough on it. 0-1, 1 out, runners on second and third. The pitch misses low, and the count goes to 1-1. 1-1, 1 out. Top of the third inning here, 8-1 in favor of the Missoula Paddleheads. Skipping in the dirt and a good snag by Davis. The ball gets by him, and it will have a good chance to score the runner Willman from third, so we make sure not to allow it on that at-bat. Counts now 2-1 with 1 out here in the top of the third. Riley on second, good speed from him. Base hit up, or not a base hit, a hit up the middle that finds the glove of Ryan Cash, but does get the runner Willman across from third. Riley moves up to third. 9-1 now in favor of the Missoula Paddleheads. Jason Newman now has a chance with Riley in, on third. We're seeing some warm-ups happening in the Glacier Range Riders bullpen. Of course, Hamby's about to pitch number 75. As the breaking ball finds the zone, called strike. Count is 0-1. 2 outs, no sacrifice, chance to get Riley across. And the 0-1 is swung on. This is a high fly ball, foul down the right field line as Linscott runs out of real estate before the wall. And it is a foul ball out of play. Count is 0-2. Good applause from the crowd there, trying to show their appreciation for Linscott running all the way to the wall to get that one. If the field would have had a little more area in play down the right field line, then man, heck, it would have been a chance for a catch from the speedy Linscott and right. Instead, an 0-2 count. Swung on. That one is a deep fly ball to center field, but because it's 406 feet back, there's enough room for Mcconnell to backpedal to the warning track and snag that one. I thought that one was gone off the bat, but my eyes deceived me, and it is 9-1 after 1 run across in the top of the third for the Missoula Paddleheads. We'll be right back for the bottom half of the inning. Brant Broussard is the leadoff man. We've seen everybody at least 2 times in the Missoula Paddleheads lineup, and Brant Broussard hasn't even stepped up to the plate once here in the bottom of the third. He will get his first chance and see strike number 1 in the zone from Domingo Pena. Gets a sign he likes, does Pena. That one's laced into right center field. Coming over and not being able to make the snag is the center fielder, Greenwald. Broussard with a big round of first, but he holds up there, and a Nice laced single into center field from Broussard to start off the bottom of the third with a base runner. Ben Mcconnell, who walked and scored the lone run thus far for Glacier, is now up. Domingo Pena, other than his season numbers thus far, haven't talked a lot about him. First pitch misses outside. Counts 1-0, no outs, runner on first here in the bottom of the third. 9-1 in favor of the Missoula Paddleheads. That one will miss as well. Counts 2-0 for Pena. He has spent a lot of time all over, not just the country, the world. And he did take 3 years off from playing professional baseball. That one will miss. Now it's 3-0 to Ben Mcconnell. Played his first professional season in 2015 when he played in the Dominican Summer League with the Texas Rangers squad. Did that as well in 2016. Then went to the Arizona League in 2017 to play with the Rangers squad. A 4-pitch walk there to Mcconnell. Runners on first and second with no outs. Went back to the Dominican Summer League and played a little bit in 2017 as well before he found himself in the Pioneer League in its affiliated days with the Idaho Falls Chucker. Not the only player on this field that has played for the Idaho Falls Chuckers before. Maybe if we see him pitch, which I think there's a good chance we might actually see Isaiah Henry, relief pitcher for the Range Riders, pitch, who won a championship with Idaho Falls in 2019 as an outfielder. But it was Pena that played in 2018. Drop down a bunt there. Pena will field and throw, and it will be a successful sacrifice bunt to move each of the runners up 90 feet. And that's the thing, man. The thing that Ryan Cash gives you is he is so fundamental. He is so by the book. He does what's asked of him, and he does that well. You know, he's not going to give you, the crazy pop and kind of, you never know what you're going to get with the guy, like Livingston Morris or Brody Wofford, who are a little more literally kind of hit or miss with what they do. But Ryan Cash will step up there, and he'll put in a good at-bat every time and at least make the pitcher work a little bit harder. There, he made Pena come off the mound in the 1-3 sack bunt play. 1-0 is the count now to Sam Linscott, who's 1 for 1. RBI single for him. That's scored Ben Mcconnell. Now could score 2 easily with a base hit. Hitting the zone, making the count 1-1 there, is Pena. I mentioned Pena's 3 seasons off from professional baseball before returning to the scene with Missoula last year and being the ace en route to a championship. The run scores, and it will be an error, I believe, on Pena, as that one skipped in the dirt and it was not able to be clamped by the first baseman, Gatewood. Usually Jason Newman plays first, but there Pena, the second time coming off, probably thinking about if there was a chance to make a play at home and get Brant Broussard. It will be an RBI for Linscott no matter what, and I do not see a hit being put up on the board, nor do I see an error being put up on the board. Gonna lean on the side of an E1 at this point until we are able to get some sort of confirmation. Our official score is located right next to the person running the scoreboard. Bottom line, Broussard scores. Linscott safe at first. Runners on the corners. 1 out here, which that's a big difference that non-out makes, as the runner still would have scored, but now a sacrifice is very much in play for Brody Wofford. First pitch will miss outside. Count goes to 1-0. Last season I mentioned the ace that Pena was. 10-1, 5.55 ERA, 130 strikeouts. en route to that PBL championship. This one is a high fly ball out to right field. Backing up is Sparks. It will take him to the wall, and he will not be able to make the snag. I don't know if that hit glove or wall first, but there was a jump that needed to be made by the right fielder, Sparks. And navigating with that wall there, just not able to come up with it. It was an error on the play that Linscott was safe on, but that goes down. It should go down as a clean RBI double from Brody Wofford. Just too close to the wall there to be expected to make that play. And that was a tough situation where maybe you want 2 outs there because Linscott easily scored on that one. That one stayed up in the air for about 60 seconds before finally coming down and not being able to be snagged by Sparks. So for the second time, again, this one not an error, but the second play in a row, a non-squeezed baseball by the glove of a paddlehead allows a base runner. First pitch misses inside. Count goes 1-0. 9-3 is our score here. But 2 runners right now sitting in scoring position. A chance to make it 9-5 in one swing of the bat. Of course, Wofford the man on second. Swing and a miss there from Dean Miller. Count now 1-1, 1 out. Linscott, sacrifice fly opportunity. Easily has the legs to beat out something in mid to deep outfield. But would love to just be able to trot home on a base hit. 1-1 coming in. Miller watches that one go off. Last time up, Miller grounded into a double play, 4-6-3 variety. Miller, when he makes contact, it flies off his bat. 2-1 pitch coming in to Dino. He was trying to make that one fly a long, long way. Comes up empty. Counts now even at 2-2 for Miller. Other than a double play, the worst possible outcome right now for Miller is a strikeout. If he puts the ball in play, there's a good chance Linscott might try and run for home. So Miller just trying to at least do that. Pena trying to get the punch out. 2-2 coming in. Swings on it, and it's laced to center field. Backing up is the center fielder. He won't be able to get it, and it one hops off the top of the wall. Miller will hold up at second. A 2 RBI double from Dino Miller. And the crowd here who watched 7 runs come across their Glacier Range Riders in the top of the first inning knew that the ball's flying today. And Livingston Morris now can come up. And I mentioned he is a guy that has the ability, one swing of the bat, to explode this ball game easily. Could cut the deficit in half. It's 9-5 now here in the bottom of the third. First pitch misses inside. Dino stands on second after his heroic double there that just laced it out to center field and got it over the outstretched glove of Greenwald. The second play in a row, the second double in a row for the Glacier Range Riders. Both of them just narrowly uncatchable against this really good defensive outfield from Missoula. 1-1, 1 out, runner on second for Livingston Morris. Mccabe sits on deck. Looking for one deep is Livingston Morris, and coming up empty there. Counts 1-2 now. Pena's thrown 20 pitches this inning, still less than he threw in the first inning when he only allowed 1 run. He has allowed 4 in this inning. And I believe all but 1 go down as earned. That one swung on, a high fly ball down the left field line, but just a little ahead of it was Livingston Morris. And man, I tell you, the crowd here, they know their range riders already, and that's one of the unique things about independent ball. You get guys when they're good, they stick around for longer than if you were an affiliated ball. They know Livingston Morris because of his rogues here on the second game ever at Flathead Field. They know what the results are when the ball makes contact with his bat. 1-2 coming, however. Pena, a long pause, 2 glances, and the pitch is swung on and missed by Livingston Morris. He gave one a ride, but it was foul, and now it's Eddie Mccabe's chance up with 2 outs. 4 runs here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Made this a whole new ball game after 7-run top of the 1st. Put everything in doubt. First pitch swinging, and it's a shot off the front of the fence in the Missoula dugout. Everybody is unharmed. Now any runs that are scored will definitely go down as unearned against Domingo Pena because of the E1 that he had earlier this inning. On deck is Davis, the former Paddlehead, but Mccabe just trying to pass him the baton. Swung on, and he had an error earlier this inning, but Pena right there shoots the glove out and makes a great defensive play to end the inning on the 1-3 ground out. It was an impressive one for Glacier, however. A few highlights, most notably the big 2 RBI double from Dean Miller that makes it 9-5. We head to the 4th inning of play. Back here, Rob Hamby still out there trying to get at least one more inning under his belt. He'll see Nick Gatewood, who fouls that one back into the netting. Count goes to 0-1. That one might have slotted right into the press box next to me, or the one next to that if there was no netting there. Might have been Jeff Safford, the Missoula Paddleheads broadcaster, that might have had a souvenir on his hands. But, of course, the netting is there to protect us and our equipment that is up here beyond these open windows. Foul ball again from Gatewood makes it 0-2. He's 1 for 2 today, is the first baseman. A home run his last time up. That one a missed low. Count goes to 1-2. Rob Hamby just hit 80 pitches. You can expect this is his last inning of work. Unless he gets through it really quickly, then maybe they'll give him one more. 1-2 swung on, foul over all the way to the Paddleheads bullpen area. One of the bullpen pitchers scampers out and picks that one up, so nobody steps on it and twists an ankle. 1-2 now is the count, no outs here. Base is empty. The leadoff batter, Gatewood, up, put it over the right field wall. in his first time up. That one is hit out to right field, and that one is able to be tracked down by Sam Linscott. Great movement off of first contact, knew where he needed to go, and was there in time to glove it for out number 1. Keaton Greenwald now. Every paddlehead is having a good day in some way or another after the start that they've had offensively, but Greenwald, the only paddlehead not to reach base. 0 for 2 today. First pitch misses. Count goes to 1-0. 11 hits for Missoula in just 3 innings. Not a bad number. Definitely something that Michael Schlacht and his staff are perfectly fine with. This one hit over to third. Eddie Mccabe will field, take a double pump, and fire in time to Wofford for out number 2. It's 9-5 here, but because it's so early and because of the 4-run outburst that you just saw from Glacier, maybe it's just the song I Feel Good playing, but there is a buzz in this crowd where they knew the 7-run top of the first wasn't the end of the story. And right now, it's Hamby trying to go 3 up, 3 down. Not only would it be his first 1-2-3 inning, it would be his first inning that he threw a blank on the board, which is, something that he's done well throughout the early part of the season, and it will be just that. A 7-pitch inning for Rob Hamby after getting a 4-3 ground out. We'll see if we see him back for the 5th inning, but first, the Glacier Range Riders bats get more cracks when we head to the bottom of the inning. Back here in the bottom of the 4th inning, it's 9-5 in favor of the visiting Missoula Paddleheads. We are here joined by a very special guest. Yesterday we had the president of the Pioneer Baseball League on the broadcast, and today we have, I don't know how to define you, a comedian by trade.
A comedian, now a professional, ex-professional baseball player. I was released today.
Yeah, it's a short career as we see strike one in there to Brenton Davis. Joe List, we're so happy to have you here. First of all, just in the ballpark and taking in Pioneer League baseball, but on the broadcast as well. Thanks for joining us here, and we hope you're enjoying being out of the dugout for a game and getting to experience as more of a fan.
I'm absolutely enjoying it. I have to say, we're up here in the box, I guess you call it, and we're hanging out in the president's suite over there, and the Pioneer Baseball League president, by the way, not Biden. He couldn't get up there, but it's a better perspective up here, believe it or not. The dugout is nice, but you don't see the game as well as you do up here.
So yesterday, as we get a 1-2 pitch coming in, going to miss, going to be 2-2 for Davis now. Yesterday, you signed a 1-day contract. You played professional baseball. what was the process like from start to finish? Was it what you imagined as, a kid growing up watching baseball and a day in the life, or were there things that surprised you?
It was pretty tremendous. What surprised me was, first of all, I signed with the Missoula Paddleheads here, the visiting ball club, and they had just gotten off an 11-hour bus ride. So they weren't overly friendly. They were nice, but it wasn't a fun, exciting. Here's a pitch. Sorry. Yikes! That was right at us.
Foul ball.
Holy cow!
That's getting used to that net and appreciating how much it protects you up here.
That was right at us. But, no, it was a lot of fun. They let me coach first base, which was quite a highlight. And when they hit 2 triples in the inning that I coached first. So that was pretty cool. And I was yelling 3-3, That part I made up. But
that one just goes below the feet of Davis there. Count's going to be full now. Yeah, and what were you saying?
I was going to say they got to be careful with these inside pitches because between you, me, and the lamppost and the board here,
yeah,
they were talking some smack back and forth, the two teams.
Yeah, I mean, and there is definitely some interesting discussions around the umpire as well, and between the two sides. Was that what you expected? As we get another foul ball, we're going to get another 3-2 pitch. In terms of the kind of communication of the dugout between the sides and the umpire, and that kind of back and forth being part of that dialogue that you don't really get as a fan in the stands.
Yeah, it was pretty cool to get to be, because right away they were chirping. The Missoula skipper there was right on the umpire.
That's going to be a called strike 3 there.
A pair of shoes, as Dennis Eckersley would say.
It's going to be maybe some chirps from the Glacier side, as they've already not enjoyed the umpiring thus far. But yeah, I mean, they got on him early, and of course Glacier later in the game got on him, and yeah, it's a tough life of the ump, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a thankless job usually. I mean, no one ever leaves the game. No one in the stands anyway is going, what a great game by the umpire.
Yeah, your best goal as the umpire is to not be mentioned, as there's a strike in there to Brant Broussard, who's 1 for 1 today. A big part of why you're out here is, that one just missed Broussard.
Yeah, that was at the butt cheek there.
Yeah, that one does. It never feels good to get hit by a pitch, but that one definitely leaves a mark around that area. 1-1 coming in now to Broussard. That one misses inside.
Yeah, now it's getting a little spicy down there. I can feel something brewing here.
Yeah, baseball, part of the culture of it is that benches clearing brawl. It goes viral whenever it happens. I'm a Mariners fan. It happened a couple days ago, or about a week and a half ago, I guess I should say. That was a good one. That was fun. And you want that competitiveness, especially in a game where there's not a lot of contact between the two sides, but there is all these unwritten rules. Did you learn any new unwritten rules yesterday spending time in the dugout?
I didn't. This is an unwritten rule I learned from the bullpen, because I hung out down in the bullpen, which is where the real characters are on a baseball team. And what I learned is they have a rule down here. This is one of those bullpens that the bullpen, old school, is just on the field of play.
Yep.
And they have a rule down there. If the ball comes your way, you can't move. You have to just wear it if it comes at you. And I said, I don't care for that. That can be your rule as a civilian. So I was the only nerd down there wearing my glove in the bullpen. But that's a fun group down there. And what I was surprised by is genuinely how little they were concerned. Because as you can see right now, they are in the sun. Well, you can see. I don't know if the folks at home can see. But they are in the direct sunlight. And they're not even really paying attention. So a lefty's up at bat. If he smokes one down there, you could see some fireworks.
That one is going to be the other way, a foul ball. Count's going to go to 1-1. Brant Broussard walked here. Scott Gladstone with Joe List. Talk a little bit about just your summer as a whole. Of course, you had a movie coming out. Your movie is out now, and that's a big part of your life right now, as well as the PBL Roundup show that you just finished shooting right before this game started. Has this been kind of one of the craziest summers for you in terms of just the diversity of things that you're doing?
Absolutely. I mean, it's like a dream come true here. I had a movie come out called 4th of July. It's in the theaters. I don't know if it's playing in Montana at all. We're having a hard time getting full distribution because we're a completely independent movie. Yeah. And like the independent baseball leagues, it's ooh, that's a fair ball.
Yeah, that is a fair ball. A chance for 2. They need the tag at second. Ooh, not in time. They say that he didn't get the tag down because the first baseman Gatewood tapped first. It would have been Willman that needed to tag Broussard, but he just gets in under the tag. would have been a 3-6 double play. Instead, just a ground out to third.
Tried to get it the hard way. And they weren't happy with the umpiring at second base yesterday. They felt he was out of position on a call. There was you probably remember he tried to get a double, stretch a single into a double.
Yep.
I was coaching first at the time. I was all over that umpire, I got to say.
Yeah, did you ever consider the possibility of maybe giving a Foley full and getting your money's worth and getting tossed late in the game?
I wanted to, but we're talking about unwritten rules of baseball. A first base coach doesn't typically get thrown out of a ball game.
Yeah, that doesn't look good.
It's not a good look, but I did think of it because it would be fun. But I want to be respectful to everybody. But going back to the movie, the movie is in a bunch of theaters right now. So we had premiere events in Boston, New York, and Chicago this past weekend, and then I came straight here to dress for a baseball game. It's been incredible.
And as we get a one low and away, you didn't get a chance to get up. You had a great batting practice. I watched part of the batting practice. You used Jason Newman's bat, and I thought it was just him, but maybe there's something in that bat because it just flies when batting practice especially. I mean, it looks like, he's playing with, one of those rubber balls or something like that just flies off his bat. 1-1 coming into cash, and it's going to be swung on foul. I mean, how was getting out there and taking some actual cracks?
It was awesome. And it's funny you said that because I was shagging fly balls out there during BP, and when Newman was at the plate, I literally asked, I was like, is this guy hurt? Because he swings effortlessly.
Yeah. And
he took the first cut, and I was like, is he injured or something? And then he hit the next 6. He just sprayed them all over the woods, over the fence. Just effortlessly bombs. And nobody wanted to let me use their bat during batting practice because that's right, almost the same ball. Whoa!
That one is a 1. That was a 3-1-3 ground out because an unintentional shovel from Gatewood to Pena back to Gatewood. That is the first time I've ever seen that. And I've watched a lot of baseball games, so maybe things are just weird when you're here. But now you're going to get a chance to call. When we come back in the 5th inning, we're going to give Joe List the full play-by-play duties, so don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. It's 9-5 as we end the 4th inning. We're back here in the top of the 5th inning. We got Joe List on the mic, and you can see him up here in the booth briefly before he's going to take away the play-by-play call as Isaiah Henry is the new pitcher.
All right. This is very exciting, folks. Isaiah Henry has taken to the hill, and the hitter, I can't look fast enough. How do you do this? The hitter's number 37. He's got a nice bottom, I can see. He's a right-handed hitter. He's up there. And Henry comes to the set and pitches and swung on and foul tipped. That's a strike. I believe it's 1-1. Tough angle. Now, do you find it very difficult to call the game from over here?
Yeah, I mean, my preferred angle is always right behind home because you can see balls and strikes really well and you have that great view. But, you just have to adapt. You see good trajectory balls sometimes here.
Here's a fastball high. That's going to put it at 2-1. And I don't know anything about Hill. He's from Florida, and his parents are farmers. I made that up. That's not true. But the base is empty. First hitter of the inning. Here comes the 2-1. He kicks and delivers and swung on and foul tipped into the mitt. That'll put us at 2-2.
Sometimes I wonder how broadcasters do realize, find out stuff like that, that their parents were farmers and it was their third generation, whatever. Because, you get to know the players well, but those deep conversations are hard to come by.
Yeah, I think they're just walking around chatting with guys. Here comes a 2-2 pitch. That one is going to be up and away. Nice frame job by the catcher, but he's not fooling anybody with that one. Count is full. Base is clear. Nobody out. We are in the Flathead Valley in wonderful Flathead, Montana, as the sun sets on another beautiful day here in Montana. How's that, huh? Full count. Here's the pitch. That one's in, and that's a leadoff walk for number 37. I still forget his name. Perez. There goes. I should know. I was in the dugout yesterday, for Pete's sake. I didn't get to meet everybody. They weren't overly friendly. Oh, this is Cameron, right? Cam something?
Yeah, Cameron Willman.
Cameron William comes to the
Willman.
Cameron Willman comes to the plate.
Maybe he goes by Cam, though. Maybe that's an insider tip that I don't know as the Glacier broadcaster, but you've spent time in there.
Yeah, I spent a little time. I was calling him Cam for sure. He's hitting ninth, and he's 1 for 1 on the day. Is that right?
Yes.
No, he must have had more at-bats than that. Maybe he walked.
He did walk.
He walked. See? This is a brilliant baseball mind. He's 1 for 1 with a walk, so he's been all over the bases. And the first pitch he took was a ball. Henry checks the sign, checks the runner, and comes to the plate. That's a strike right down the middle. That'll make it 1-1. A nice little applause. Nice size attendance here. I don't know the numbers, but it's a beautiful ballpark if you ever get the chance to get out here. Nice crowd. Willman digs in. Willman's a thin fella. He doesn't look like much, but he can really smoke the ball. Takes this one in the dirt. 2-1. The action count. Let's see if they send this runner anywhere. He's got a pretty short lead there, so doesn't look like it. As a former first base coach, I really keep my eyes on the runner. Oh, he's taking a bigger lead now. Henry checks on him. He comes to the plate. That ball's swung on and fouled straight back. They say you just missed it when you foul straight back. So
yeah, it means you're right on it. That's what they say. But baseball players say a lot of stuff sometimes. And there's just like unwritten rules. It's there's a lot of sayings that you're like, is that true? I don't.
Yeah.
All right.
What blows my mind is Vin Scully did this by himself. That's wild to me. Here's the pitch. That ball's away. And that's going to make it a full count, another full count. So Henry's got quite a pitch count already, 2 hitters in.
Yeah, this will be his 12th pitch upcoming for him.
12th pitch and just 2 hitters, hasn't recorded an out. He leans in. He's checking the signs. He still hasn't found one he likes. Now he has. He comes set. The 3-2 is low. Runner was going, by the way. I was late on the call. But doesn't matter. He's walked, and we're going to have a little meeting at the mound.
Yeah, Isaiah Henry, he was actually drafted as a outfielder. And Dan Swain, there's a guy on the Paddleheads that was the same thing. He came into pitch last night. I think he was the first reliever out of the pen. But both these guys drafted and played in the minors, in the affiliated minors as outfielders. And then, Isaiah Henry, somebody at some point brought out a radar gun. He was throwing 96. And they said, maybe you'd be better off as a pitcher. And so that's where he is now, kind of revamping his career as a pitcher. But you see that sometimes, especially with those outfielders, they struggle with control. That's their big thing because they're used to throwing it hard from the outfield, but they're not used to throwing it in the zone. So that's, pretty kind of the only thing that you can hamper Henry for, and Swain at times. But,
It's funny you brought up Swain because he was my best friend on the team. He doesn't know that, but he's the one. We were clubhouse mates in the clubhouse. We sat next to each other, and he's a Massachusetts guy, as am I. He's from Newton North High School.
Okay.
Which is the same high school Louis C.K., my co-writer and director of the movie 4th of July. Let me just get another plug in there. And we're both Sox fans. All right, so now it's first and second, and here comes the first pitch to the new hitter, Brandon Riley. and I looked down to find his name, so I don't know what happened. I didn't hear a strike call.
It was a ball.
Looked like a ball to me. You're working a lot of things. I mean, you got the board here, and you're doing it all by yourself, and very impressive. And
sometimes I feel like, an octopus or something punching everything. Sometimes I tweet as well.
Here's another pitch in the dirt. Henry's having a hard time finding the plate, obviously. He's gone to he's walked the first 2 hitters he faced, and now he's thrown 2 balls in the dirt to Riley, who's 2 for 3. Nice offensive night for the Paddleheads so far. Here's the 2-0. That ball is swung and fouled back our way, right over our heads here. 2 balls and a strike. Riley takes a walk around. And do they have the pitch clock working in this league right now? Or not yet?
At some stadiums it is, but I don't think they're fully enforcing it until the midpoint of the season. I'm pretty sure that's been the thing because they need to get it uniform, get people used to it. We're still a little slow at times, which, baseball games can last a while when there's a lot of runs scored and a lot of things happening. So that pitch clock, I'm sure, will help a little bit, kind of speed it up.
I got to say, Henry's working pretty quick. By the way, that last pitch was fouled off. It's still 2-2. Or that made it 2-2, I should say. Henry's looking for a sign. Not on perfect same page here with his battery mate, but now he's got his pitch. And that is swung on and missed. A little late on that one, and that's a strikeout. 2 walks and a K.
Yeah, you see the speed there on the pitch from Henry. He can deal it, and even maybe with control issues or lack of experience or whatever, scouts notice you. When you can crack 95 on a gun, they notice you pretty quick, and you get on your map their map that way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because the curveball's kept more people out of the big leagues than anything else, they say. But these heaters, I don't know how you get around on a 95-mile-an-hour pitch. Here's one right here. That ball's up high. Oh, excuse me. It's a strike. Like I said, it's a thankless job. I thought it was high. I'm sure the Paddlehead skipper did as well.
It's 0-1 now, but you didn't get a chance to get in the game. I mentioned your BP. What do you think would have happened if you would have got in the game?
I think I would have here's another one in the dirt. I think I would have whiffed, but you never know. I mean, Billy Crystal got in at bat in a spring training game. He was 60 and he fouled one off. And Tom Selleck got an at bat for the Detroit Tigers years ago, and he fouled a few off. So those guys would probably had been taking BP more recently. Maybe I could have got a piece of one. You never know. That one's up. You never know. If they threw me fastball, a curveball, I think I would have no chance. But a fastball down the middle, if I got the timing right, maybe I could have got a piece of one. But I was asking the guys in the bullpen on the Paddlehead side, I said, what would you do if a 40-year-old comedian came up to bat and got a hit off you? And they all said, Dan Swain actually said, I would put my glove on the mound and walk off.
Yep.
Way late on that one, and that is a strike. And now that evens it up at 2-2, I believe. Yeah.
And is that what you would have considered a victory? If you would have made contact with one pitch, you would have considered that a win? Or
absolutely.
Only home runs?
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think even if I barreled one, it wouldn't get out of there. These guys are ripped. When you're in the clubhouse, you don't think of baseball players as being huge. These guys are all ripped. Not all of them. But that ball's down. We're going to have another full count. This is the third full count of the inning and only 4 hitters. But, yeah, I think I think I could maybe barrel one and put it in the gap, and we'll see. Blow out a hammy, round in first. I'm sore as heck today just from taking those cuts. But I was impressed with by myself in the batting practice. I felt like I got a few good knocks. Here's the full count pit. That is grounded. That's through. And he's going to be held up. We're going to do it one base at a time. And the bases are full for the Paddleheads with just one out. That was like a routine ground ball that just found its way through the left side.
Yeah, and the guy who hit that, McLean O'Connor, that was yesterday was his birthday. And I found that out late last night after the broadcast. But it was his birthday. He turned 24. Did you know that? Was there a big celebration at all? Any cake?
No birthday. There was no celebrate. Like I said, these guys were gassed from a 4-hour ride. By the way, Lamar Sparks is coming to the bat. And he won the Player of the Week, I think.
Yes, just announced today, I think.
Yeah, and we had a little chat after batting practice. He was very complimentary. And he said the key is just fun. He kept saying fun is the key. The first pitch to him is right down the middle. He takes it for a strike. So we got the bases full here, 0-1, and the what inning are we in? Top of 5?
Yes.
Top of the 5th. Bases full for Lamar Sparks, the reigning Player of the Week. Henry's ready. There's the pitch, and that's swung on and missed. 0-2. Sparks probably wants that one back. Not a great pitch to swing at. And big, what's that? Newman is on deck.
Yeah.
My man, I had an embarrassing moment. I was coaching first, and he hit one that I thought he got, and I put both hands in the air, and it was a routine fly ball. I was humiliated. I felt bad. This one's popped back towards the suite that we were sitting in. Let's see if someone makes a play on it. Oh! Someone got a hand on it, knocked it down. Nice round of applause for the fella. If he doesn't give it to a kid, do you judge him? Because I really do. When a grown man takes a foul ball, I just think it's appalling. Oh, and he's giving it to a kid, right on cue. There you go.
There we go.
Nicely done. I mean, you see an old bald man hold on to a minor league baseball, you just think, what kind of man is this? But he handed it to a child, and the kid's going to go give him a big high five. That one missed, and they wanted a called strike, didn't get it. We can hear the Missoula dugout, the Glacier dugout, wanting that third strike. Didn't get it. That's the way life goes. Ball and 2 strikes. Full count to Lamar Sparks. And here's the pitch. And he takes that one inside.
Who was the funniest player in the dugout? Other than you, obviously.
Oh, jeez. I just knocked over a bottle of water. Thank God the cap was on. Boy, the funniest guy, I mean, Dan Swain was making me laugh. The bullpen guys were all very funny. I didn't get to know everyone's name, but all those bullpen guys were really funny, and we shared a sense of humor. We were trying to write a pop song out there during the game, which was really fun. I mean, if you could mic up the bullpen, it's really a good time. This one's fouled off to the right. But, yeah, those guys were all making me laugh, and I think it's just a lot of time way down there. You're a bit removed from the game, and in this league, there's no bullpen coach. You know, in the big leagues, maybe it's a little more, disciplined down there. You have a coach, but it's just the nuts are running the asylum down there. There is a pitch that looked to be a strike to the crowd, but maybe he's getting squeezed. I don't know. It's hard to tell from our angle, but the count is full again. I feel like I'm repeating myself over and over again. That ball must have just missed. So it'll be 3-2. Bases loaded. Everyone's going to be moving here on the pitch. Swung on and missed. A nice little off-speed pitch. I just realized there's one out. There was one out. There's 2 outs now. Sorry.
Well, I mean, you avoid one really good player, and you get to Newman now, who we talked about. That ball flies off his bat. With the bases loaded, I'm sure he'll be looking for some RBIs as he steps up here.
Yeah, absolutely. Some ducks in the pond for Newman. And he was very friendly, too. He was very nice, and he let me use his bat, as we mentioned earlier, because nobody wanted to let me touch their bat. But he found a bat with a chip in it and let me use it. And I feel like I didn't curse it. I feel like I did okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, he had a good day. His batting average did go down a little bit. He was over 400 coming in, and it went sub 400 because I think he went 1 for 4 yesterday, but he did have a double. So, there was pros and cons of it.
Yeah, he had kind of an adventure on the base bat. He had an awkward slide into second, then an awkward slide into home, and I said that to him. He didn't seem that thrilled with it, but he doubled and scored yesterday. Base is full for him. Here's the pitch. That one's in the dirt. Nice block by the catcher, whose name is Davis.
Former Paddlehead, actually. I mean, I don't know.
Oh, no kidding.
If they were more friendly or less friendly with him as a former teammate, but he is a recently acquired trade from Missoula.
Oh, okay, yeah, the skipper mentioned that. Michael, I don't know his last name. Schlatt. Okay, that's what I thought it was. I didn't want to screw it up. Here's a 1-1 pitch. He's late on that one. It's 1-2. And we may be working out of this, Henry may be working out of this jam here. Nobody in. Bases are loaded. There's 2 outs. And he has struggled, thrown a lot of pitches in this inning, but he's 1 pitch away from getting out of it.
My worry for you is that this might be your introduction to the announcer's jinx. As soon as you said he might be working out of this jam.
That one's down. Crowd wanted it, but it was down. Maybe I should. Will they get mad at me? Will they come up here if they hear about this later?
We might get like an angry. I mean, I don't know Isaiah Henry's family at all, but maybe they're watching from Houston, Texas, and they might be like, "No, why'd you say that?"
Oh, is he from Houston? My wife is from Houston. I made it up that he was from Florida. Here's the pitch. That one is inside. Well, the crowd is getting very upset with the umpire, but these pitches are clearly missing.
Yeah, I mean, there is a expanded strike zone for a home crowd. They see things a little bit off the plate, a little bit inside. They obviously are biased.
Absolutely. All right, full count. Now the runners will be going. That ball is foul. It looks like it might be in play. First baseman ranging over, and he's camped under it. He's got it. And somehow he worked his way out of that jam. I believe he walked two guys in a base hit.
Yep. And we'll be right back. We'll have you call the bottom of the fifth as well if you're down for it.
Absolutely.
Back here in the bottom of the fifth, I'm going to hand over play-by-play duties for one more inning to Joe List, who is we're so grateful to have join us.
Yes, and I am also grateful to be here. And this is a dream come true. This is even cooler than being a player. All I ever want to do is play-by-play. And I hope I do my colleague, Tom Brenneman, proud. My colleague on the PBL Roundup. Please check out that show Wednesday nights. Ooh, that one is foul. That's going to be out of play. And towards the bullpen, there's my buddies down there. Up over their heads, and I saw a couple of them moving. Oh, he's just coming into the dugout. I was going to call him out for moving, but he's coming down to protect his catcher here. Very old school here, the bullpens in the field of play. When I grew up, there was so many stadiums that had that.
Yeah.
And a little dangerous and exciting. Here's a 1-1. That is down. It's going to be 2-1.
Did they ever, when somebody's warming up, they have that protector over there. Did they ever consider giving you that job of the bullpen pitcher protector?
I don't think they trusted me that much, but I have to say there was a bullpen guy who was a bit wild, and he threw a couple straight into the dugout, which was terrifying. This one is fouled off, a little nub piece there. There was a guy, I don't know what was going on, but he whipped a couple right where the pitching coach has his back of his head turned, so he better be careful down there.
Yeah, head on a swivel. That's a general sports term. But, in baseball, nonetheless, these balls hurt when you don't see them coming, even when you see them coming.
Absolutely. That's why the bullpen was so crazy to me. Here's the 2-1. That's a little off-speed piece. Nubbed foul again.
So you grew up in Boston area?
Yeah, about a half hour south of Boston, 40 minutes south of Boston, Whitman, Massachusetts. So huge, huge Sox fan. And Sean McDonough, he was my favorite play-by-play guy of all time. He's a ESPN guy now.
Yes. Yeah.
The 2-2, that one is down. Now they don't want that wide strike zone, this crowd, all of a sudden. Quiet on that one.
Yeah. They'll remember when you burn them. The crowds will. They have pretty good memories, but, when it goes the other way, you tend to.
They go, hey, this ump's all right. Here's the 2-2. This one is ripped to third and caught on a line. Hit it solid, but right at the third baseman, Thompson. Nice play, one away here in the bottom half of the fifth. It is 9-5. It's a barn burner here. See, yesterday I was hoping to get an at bat, and they said if it's a blowout, I might be able to get one. Yesterday was a tight game, so right away it was 9-1 in this game, or 8-0 or something. I thought, man, this is the game I should have been at.
You were ready to see if there was a contract, another one day or a couple hour contract. That's all you needed.
Absolutely. Here's a breaking piece that comes in high. But now it's the Range Riders have tightened it up here. Just a 4-run game.
Yeah, I mean that was the one thing. Of course, close games are always fun to call, but at the same time, I was wondering if there was a chance we'd see you out there because, I think just like you jumping in, this is your first time broadcasting a baseball game, just playing, being a professional athlete. That's kind of something that everybody kind of grows up thinking about. And, that'd be a fun job. I'd love to do that. And, that's the true experiment of it.
This one's ripped out to left. He's backpedaling. He's got it. That was not an easy play. As someone that was shagging fly balls, the ball really carries here. That ball was stung and looked a little awkward out and left, but he made the play. Riley. Sorry for I don't know all the names by heart here, so I'd be better if I was calling a Sox game. I'd be all over it.
Yeah.
The names.
Who's your favorite player of all time, and maybe on the current team or current era, I guess?
Boy, all-time Pedro Martinez is just my favorite athlete. I mean, those late 90s, I was in high school, and it was just amazing, electric in the ballpark. And here is a strike to Dean Miller, the left fielder, who is 1 for 2 on the day. Yeah, Pedro's definitely my favorite. I mean, he was just so fun and so electric. The kind of guy you hate him if he's not on your team, but he's the best if he's on your team, which fortunately he was for me. There's another fastball down the middle for strike 2, 0-2. And now, I mean, Rafi Devers I love. He's such a great hitter, and he's just talking to himself after every pitch. He'll hit himself in the head with the bat, and really it's just a character out there and just a tremendous hitter. Oh, he rings him up on a tough pitch inside, and he's got to be careful here, barking with the umpire. And here comes the skipper maybe to protect his player. I can't tell. That's the end of the inning. I guess I assume we have to sign off, but that was a tough strike 3 there.
Yeah, I mean, that does do it for the end of the 5th inning. And Joe, I want to thank you for coming out, calling an inning here. I hope it wasn't too overwhelming. You get used to it.
Yeah, I was hoping for a home run call, but that was so much fun. A dream come true, and I really appreciate you having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much. Go check out Joe's movie as well as the PBL Roundup show, 4th of July.
4th of July is the movie PBL Roundup every Wednesday at 5 o'clock Mountain Time on PBL.com.
You can watch the one that they did earlier today on demand on the PBL network.
Yes.
And see more of the behind the scenes of Joe's journey.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Back here in the top of the 6th. Once again, I want to thank Joe List for joining me on the broadcast. It's so great to have him here, a part of the PBL through the Roundup show, but, got him out here to Flathead to check out the field. You can check out, he did a stadium tour with Chris Kelly, our vice president. He interviewed, I believe, a couple other members of the front office. Just been great to have him here to publicize, a lot of what we're doing in the Flathead Valley. A lot of really, really great stuff. And this is a stadium, like Joe said. You got to check it out if you're in the area. It is a very fun atmosphere, despite the score right now against the hometown Range Riders. 0-2 is the count on Nick Gatewood, 1 for 3 today. Isaiah Henry, didn't get to say too much about him, just talked a little bit about his previous career, life, time as a minor league baseball player, outfielder. That one will miss low. Count goes to 1-2 now. No outs. 9-5 here, top of the sixth. Unfortunately, Joe didn't get a call. A run scored. He got a bases-loaded jam under his belt, as well as a 1-2-3 inning. But, it's always a dream to call a home run. And, sometimes you take it for granted when you call, the handful that I have. But it is nonetheless good to see somebody like Joe who knows it's never too late to live out a few dreams, which he's done here in the Flathead Valley. That one, the batter definitely went as Gatewood swings and misses for strike number 1. Isaiah Henry, 2 walks and a base hit last inning, but the bases got left juiced, and that was incredible considering there was 1 out, and it was 2 very good players in Lamar Sparks and Jason Newman, who were the ones that he buzzed through to get those final 2 outs. You love to be able to get out of a bases-loaded 1-out jam. This one's a foul ball up, heading towards in play. It will bounce off the top of the other half of the press box, which is located down the first baseline. Nine to 5, top of the sixth here. Isaiah Henry, his second inning of work. Keaton Greenwald, the batter. 0 for 3 tonight is Greenwald. 2 groundouts and a pop out. Chin music there for Greenwald. Count goes to 1-1. One miss low. Counts now 2-1. Isaiah Henry, his stats on the season, he had 2 scoreless outings that he looked really good in before Henry got dinged up for 3 runs, 2 of them earned. Should say he had 3 scoreless outings before getting dinged up and struggling against the Great Falls Voyagers, where he took the loss, getting walked off. That one will miss low, and it will be a 5-pitch walk to Greenwald. He'll reach base for the first time today. Cameron Thompson steps up. A good day for Thompson thus far. Grounded out his most recent time up, but he's got a single and a 2 RBI double to his name. Since the end of the 3rd inning, the run scoring has plateaued for both sides. We've been stagnant at 9-5, a 4-run lead for the Missoula Paddleheads, keeping it close, but it never has really felt like the Range Riders have been in control. They had that 4-run bottom of the 3rd, but that was about it. Fly ball hit into shallow left field. Brent Broussard backs up and makes the snag of the pop out for out number 1. I don't know why I said that. Out number 2. Next batter is Henderson Perez, 1 for 2 today with that infield single that he scored Cameron Thompson on. Greenwald on first. We'll see if he's going. He is going. And it will be a ball that gets away from Davis on the exchange. Will also be a called ball. Successful steal of second by Greenwald. That pitch misses as well. Counts now 2-0. Perez on the season, a .250 batting average, 1 home run, and 6 RBIs. Missing again. Count goes to 3-0. I talked with Joe List about the conversion from position player to pitcher. Didn't get to ask him what he thought he would have done if he would have stepped out on the mound. That would have been interesting to see as well and hear what he would have thought. And how victory for him would have been to make contact with one pitch, foul something off. That's keep your expectations in check. You'll be all right. Up comes Cameron Willman. Cam, as he is known. We're going to have a conversation with Nick Hogan and Isaiah Henry real quick before this at-bat to Willman. Interestingly enough, usually it's Mike Spears, the pitching coach, that comes out and has a conversation with the pitcher. Nick Hogan, however, he's just having the conversation with Henry. And that does go down as the official mound visit. We were talking a little bit, not talking, we were before the game talking with the press box a little bit about one of the discussions that was had last night where Michael Schlack didn't agree with something the umpire did, or maybe Nick Hogan, manager for the Range Riders, was showing his disagreement. Whatever it was ended with a signal to the booth from the home plate umpire, who made a signal that nobody knew what it meant, but it was believed to be just that was the official mound visit for Missoula at that point in the game. That one misses low. You're allowed 1 mound visit per pitcher per inning. So Nick Hogan, if he comes out again to have a discussion with his pitcher, he has to take him out of the game. I started to say that last night. I don't know if I ever finished that last night. This one is a foul ball, and it's going to be out of play. Lands near the kid zone in that right field foul area. Not open yet to the public, but just recently paved. Or the cement was laid down, whatever the official term for that is. 1-2, 2 outs, runners on first and second. 9-5 ball game, top of the 6th. That pitch misses outside. Counts now goes to 2-2, and the deuces are wild. Two outs. Cameron Willman 1 for 1 today. Does have 2 walks, and now the runner Greenwald will go, but his teammate Perez holds up, decides not to test his luck. And so it's a successful stolen base for Keaton Greenwald. Now runners on the corners, 3-2, 2 outs. Perez will be going on this pitch to Cameron Willman. A ball loads the bases, a strike, sends us to the bottom of the 6th. Henry kicks, fires. It'll be a foul ball. We'll do it one more time. Due up in the bottom of the 6th is Livingston Morris, Eddie Mccabe, as well as Brenton Davis. Another 3-2 with 2 outs And Henry fires, swung on a high pop fly down the first baseline. Wofford moves over into foul territory and back right on the line. And straddling that first baseline, it is a foul pop out to end the inning. So Henry, another jam, but he gets out of it. We'll be right back for the bottom of the sixth. Livingston Morris leads off the bottom of the sixth. And the first pitch is in the zone for a called strike. We got a new pitcher on the mound for the Missoula Paddleheads. Coming out with his tie-dye jersey is number 33, Nathan Alexander. The right-hander kicks and fires the second pitch of the at-bat to Livingston Morris, and it is outside for a ball. Counts now 1-1. Nathan Alexander, 13 appearances, is his 14th, 4.95 ERA and 20 innings pitched. And he has 28 strikeouts to 11 walks. He entices a swing and a miss. Santa Morris there. Count goes to 1-2. One-two misses low. Counts now 2-2 for Morris. Nathan Alexander is 25-year-old, 6'4", 205-pound right-hander out of Lake Jackson, Texas. That one skips in the turf. Count goes to 3-2 for the leadoff batter here in this inning, Mr. Livingston Morris. This is his second appearance versus the Range Riders. It is for Alexander. Foul ball there. Keeps the at-bat alive for Livingston Morris. Nathan Alexander, mentioned it when I first called him in a game for the Paddleheads against Glacier. He is a road runner. UTSA, University of Texas, San Antonio Roadrunner. 3-2 coming in. And another foul ball. As the crowd tries to cheer Livy on here. He has spent plenty of time in pro ball. Just one season pitching for the Roadrunners where he got a 3-1 record. And a leadoff walk after a gritty at-bat by Morris. Since then, he was drafted by the Marlins, played in the Gulf Coast League for the Marlins rookie team there. Was called up to Clinton in the Midwest League. I believe they're the Clinton Lumber Kings. They are. In A-ball. And then played with Joliet in the 2020 COVID Champions Cup, I think it was called. The Joliet team there. As a first pitch to Eddie Mccabe misses. Count goes to 1-0 for Alexander, who allowed that leadoff walk, now behind 1-0. Spent last season in independent ball as well in the Frontier League with the New York Boulders, now a Paddlehead. Skipping in the dirt and blocked well by Perez. Counts now 2-0. His professional stats coming in to this season. In the minors, he was 4-5 with a 3.04 ERA, and in independent ball, he was 3 wins, 4 losses with a 5.84 ERA. This one is hit slowly to second. The glove flip and the throw. What a play from the Missoula Paddleheads defense. Cameron Willman charged that ball, kept it in his glove, flipped it behind him to O'Connor, who then flung it on target in time to Gatewood. You got to tip your cap to the Paddleheads on that beautiful 6-4-3 double play. The second time today that Mccabe has grounded into a double play. So now the leadoff walk is all for naught. Nobody on for Brenton Davis, the catcher, who sees a strike. Count goes to 0-1. Swung on and missed. We're just in the bottom of the 6th here. Still a good chunk of baseball to go, as one more strike means we're 2/3 of the way through this game. It has lasted 2 hours and 15 minutes thus far, so you can expect the final third, if it's on pace with this, to last about an hour, a little bit more than that. Foul ball on 0-2 means we get 0-2 one more time. Alexander will throw pitch number 15 in this inning with Brant Broussard on deck. Ben Mcconnell in the hole. And the pitch coming to Davis. Swings on it, stabs it to short, and Cameron Willman, whose name was all over that inning defensively, it only is fitting that he gloves the final out. He had the beautiful 6-4-3 double play, and then the line out to short to end the inning. Nathan Alexander faces the minimum. We'll be right back in the 7th inning. Back here we have a new pitcher for the Glacier Range Riders. It's number 40, Logan Walters. Waltz, something along those lines, as he goes by. Logan Walters, 6'2", 185 pounds. Just won a national championship with Southeastern University. Originally from Memphis, Tennessee. First pitch misses the catcher entirely. A ball to Brandon Riley, the leadoff man, who is 2 for 4 today, is Riley. Riley on the season, .321 batting average, 4 homers, 25 RBIs. That ball misses the zone as well. For Walters on the season, 9.82 ERA in 3 appearances. No starts for him, 3 2/3 innings pitched. So a small sample size thus far. That one will be a base hit off him. Hit into shallow right field. Good pace put on the ball by Riley, who now has a 3 for 5 night. Considering the way this game has started, with 7 runs in the top of the first inning for the Missoula Paddleheads, it could be worse. It could be worse. That is a true statement that you can say all the time, but 7-0, it's very easy to just kind of lay down and throw the game away, especially when you're where the Range Riders are in the standings right now, waiting pretty much just for the second half to start so they can get a reset of their record, as that pitch is in the zone to McLean O'Connor, who is 3 for 4 tonight. 0-1, no outs, runner on first. Misses. Counts now even at 1-1. I mentioned standings, so let's talk about the standings. Missoula is in first place in the North Division with a 26-10 record. You're seeing a lot of the reason why they've only lost 10 games right now. With quality in all phases of the game. Runner is going. The throw from Davis, dead to rights. Got him. That was a breaking ball too, so a little bit slower in terms of the pace on that one, but Riley was ready for it. No swing. No swing from the batter. So that allowed him an unobstructed path to step up and gun it to second base, and a good job by Brant Broussard to grab that one in time, a little out of position, and be able to put the tag on the foot of Riley. Caught stealing 2-6, but now it's a 3-1 count for McLean O'Connor. He's looking to reach base for the 4th time today. Does not look like he will do that. This one is a high fly ball into right field, and it's caught by Lynn Scott out there in right field for out number 2. The 3-1 count is not been able to take advantage of for the second baseman. And now Lamar Sparks comes up. Lamar Sparks, with the bases loaded last time up, struck out swinging. A result that he is hoping him and the Paddleheads do not have to look back on as some runs they would have needed later. However, like I mentioned, since that bottom of the 3rd where 4 runs came across for Glacier, the bats have been pretty dormant for the Range Riders. I started to tell you the standings, and then I didn't get past the Missoula Paddleheads. 1-1 now after the strike there. Missoula's first. They're 5 games ahead of Great Falls and Idaho Falls, who are currently playing. We'll get to that scoreboard in a moment. Billings is a half game back of Great Falls and Idaho Falls, and Glacier is 12.5 games back of the first place Paddleheads. 1-1 hurled in there into the zone. A called strike. Lamar Sparks doesn't like it. Count goes to 1-2, 2 outs here. as Logan Walters tries to work a quick inning to help turn the tie back over to his offense. The 1-2 coming in for Logan Walters to Lamar Sparks. That one is plastered into the gap in left center. Going to get down and one hop off the Carlisle sign on the wall. A stand-up double for Lamar Sparks, and he puts himself in scoring position with 2 outs. Designated hitter now, Jason Newman steps up. 1 for 4 is Newman. He singled in that ring around a Rosie type first inning for the Paddleheads, but has come up empty since then. He had a long fly out to center in his 3rd time up, but as well as a ground out and a pop out in foul territory that was also with the bases loaded 2 innings ago. He is 1 for 4 now on the day with just that single. Again, Sparks on second. Decent speed for him. Running on most contact here with 2 outs. Newman receives and doesn't swing. It's low. Count is 1-0. In the Southern Division in the Pioneer League right now, Ogden leads, but actually these were printed out before their score went final. They do have a chance to go into a tie today, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Now that I'm peeking over at the scoreboard, cheating a little bit, it is Grand Junction in second, just 1 game back of Ogden. Counts now 2-0 after that ball misses. 2 outs, top of the 7th, 9-5, and a runner on second. Northern Colorado sits a more hefty margin back between those top 2, the Raptors and the Rockies, that are fighting it out seemingly for the first half crown. Boise is in a more distant 4th, and Rocky Mountain right now 9 games out of it. But as we turn to the scoreboard in a second, they are feeling good. Called strike there. Counts now 2-1 with 2 outs and a runner on second. The final score from earlier today, Northern Colorado eked out a 5-4 victory at their home ballpark, temporary home in Greeley, Colorado, on the campus of the UNC Bears. 2-1 coming in. Swing and a miss from Jason Newman. Comes up empty now, 2-2, 2 outs. And I don't want to get too far into the scoreboard because I do think we deserve to fully immerse ourselves in this 2-2 pitch with a runner on second here. 2 outs. Newman doing his best to bring Lamar Sparks in from second. Walters trying to get in the way. 2 glances at Sparks, and then the hit up the middle. It's to Cash, and Newman does not press his foot on the gas to get to first. He knows he's out 4-3 to end the inning. A 1 for 5 day right now for Jason Newman. His batting average continues to inch downwards in this series, but the Missoula Paddleheads winning percentage seems like it's going to be cruising up. We got a lot of baseball to play, though. Don't go anywhere. It's time for the 7th inning stretch. Broussard leads off the inning, and as he sees a ball up high there, I think besides, my nickname for him and Ben Mcconnell being Flash and Lightning, I think in general at times I want to nickname Broussard something along the lines of Firestarter or Kindle or something like that, because he finds a way to get the job done often when the cards have been stacked against Glacier, and does his best to try and start it. He's behind 1-2 here, though. But clearly the kind of veteran presence on this team for a team that has a ton of rookies. That one just misses. Perez thought it was strike 3. He held that one a long time. And Michael Schlacht is letting our home plate umpire hear it. As Joe List said, it is a thankless job back there. That one swung on and missed. It's in the dirt. And it's out, number 1. Nathan Alexander still out as Ben Mcconnell steps up for the 4th time today. Only one official at bat as he grounded out to first. And he walked twice as well. Did score the leadoff run of this ball game for Glacier. A run that made it 7-1. That one misses low. Count is 1-0. Second time in a row, he hits it over to first. And the second time in a row, he grounds out to first. 2 gone in the bottom of the 7th now as Gatewood fields that one and taps the bag unassisted. Ryan Cash up now, a sack bunt today as well as a single. 1 for 2 is the Range Riders' second baseman. I told you I'd tell you the, the scores around the Pioneer Baseball League, so maybe I should do that. As the first pitch comes in here to Cash, and it misses. Count goes to 1-0. NOCO beat Ogden 5-4. I already told you that. So that means if Grand Junction wins, they are now tied atop the Southern Division. The problem is that they are currently getting smoked. It is 21-4 in favor of the Rocky Mountain Vibes, who revamped their roster 2 weeks ago. And they were a team that was losing games similar to 21-4 margins, and now they're in the 5th inning, and they are winning a game 21-4 against the second-place team in the South. That ball is hit to second, and the throw is in time. A 1-2-3 inning work by Nathan Alexander. The other scores from around the league were in the 8th inning in Billings as well as Idaho Falls. Boise is down by 1 to the Billings Mustangs. It's 5-4 there, and Idaho Falls in a parallel score leads Great Falls, also 5-4. Both Billings and Idaho Falls, the home team, is up by 1 run, 5-4, and in Northern Colorado was the home team against Ogden, and they won 5-4. That would be a unique trifecta if we get 3 5-4 won by the home team scores in a Pioneer League night. Right now, it looks like every home team except for Glacier is on path to win tonight, as it is 4 for the visitors in Colorado Springs, but 21, like I said, for the hosts. I've spoken to half of this inning break, but I'm going to take a quick break. As we head to the 8th, it's still 9-5 in favor of Missoula. Took a quick break, and now I'm back at it again in the 8th inning of play. It is 9-5 in favor of the Missoula Paddleheads. This inning, we're going to see Gatewood, Greenwald, and Thompson for the kids from Zootown, just a 2-hour drive, maybe a little bit longer by bus. I actually don't know. As that one is a foul ball from Gatewood. For both these teams, it is their easiest travel distance of the year. The problem is, as Joe Liz talked about, they took the red eye from Boise 2 nights ago. Finished up a fireworks show 4th of July game. Does that one hit and maybe touch the heel of Walters? Doesn't matter, as it will be fielded by Broussard, thrown to first on target and in time for out number 1. 1 out, top of the 8th, base is empty. Keaton Greenwald over 3 today. Stepping up, did walk in his most recent time up. Logan Walters about to throw pitch number 20. I talked about it with Mike Shapiro, the president of the league. One of the things that's really cool about this league is that you're in a place where there's not a lot of professional baseball, professional sports, high-ticket sports in general. That's the reason why you get such expansive and supportive crowds throughout the league. Problem that you get at that is, though, is in the Rocky Mountain West, the reason why there isn't a lot of people is, or reason why there isn't a lot of Major League Sports teams is because people are more spread out. There's a lot more space. Montana is the 4th biggest state in the United States, but it only just cracked 1 million recently. And that leaves, a lot of people spread out. The Flathead Valley itself holds probably up to 100,000 in the entirety of kind of what some would describe as a metropolitan area. If you go all the way from, as there's a strike in there, counts 2-2. If you go all the way from basically Essex, Montana, which is at the top of Marias Pass, the Continental Divide, and that kind of far reaches over there near Glacier, you can go all the way to the other side of Flathead Valley and still, on Flathead Lake, and still call that kind of Flathead Valley in Polson, Montana, and that area. As that pitch misses. And I think Davis thought if he pinched that one that he would be able to get the strike call, but because it escaped his glove, he was not happy with himself. 3-2 now with 1 out, coming in from Walters to Greenwald. And the bottom line was what I was trying to get to, is that there are some long road trips in this league. That one knuckled out of play and hit into the kids zone general admission area over there. That will be open soon. Don't you worry. That part's called the Rocks, and I believe the lawn is what the other side is called. Plenty of chances the kids to get foul balls once that right field foul line territory is open. There are a ton of balls that come that way. Ooh, that one missed. And the crowd that has stuck it here through the 8th inning, reminding their umpire plenty. And Nick Hogan is on the top step. He is letting the umpire hear it once again. Warning was issued to Nick Hogan in the 1st inning. And whatever he said there wasn't enough to get tossed out. There is the advanced analytics data that they have. As first pitch is fouled back into the netting. Count goes 0-1. It's Cameron Thompson up now. He's 2 for 4 today. They do have some of those, I believe, TrackMan as well as Yakkertech, both here at the stadium, that is used to track balls, strikes, pitch speed, exit velo, total distance, all sorts of stuff like that. And I believe there are analytics interns up in the booth that are covering that. And I don't know for sure if they have it. I know at different levels in the MLB they have it in the dugout as the runner's going, but the hit and run will fail because it's a foul ball out of play. But you see it a lot of times in the MLB, not a lot of times, a couple times, when the batters come into the dugout, they check out where the pitches actually were compared to what the umpire called. And they don't like it when the umpires don't like it when they're told that technology just told them they were wrong, and the players don't like it when technology told them that they, as the batter, were correct in thinking, something was going to be a ball and they weren't going to swing at it. This one's hit up the middle. Broussard's only going to have to make a play at first, and it will be safe over there at first. That was just too slow of a roller there to Broussard. Not much groans from the audience, who has been resigned at this point with the way things have gone, just not to go their way. As a infield single there by Cameron Thompson. He scored a run off an infield single later by this guy, Henderson Perez, who had a rare headfirst dive into first base on that infield single and was called safe. Would have been out number 3 if he was not safe, and that would have kept that out. That's what it's called when you're not safe. Skips in the dirt, count goes to 1-0, 1 out. Runners on first and second here in the top of the 8th. If you would have been called out at first in that top of the first inning where everything went wrong for Glacier, it would have been limited to 4 runs scored, which would have made a huge difference. That's 3 less runs than they actually scored. And in theory, could be 6-5 right now. But again, Perez's hustle and his head-first slide into first base is the reason why maybe they have 3 more runs than they wouldn't have if he didn't hustle that one out. 1-1 now after the big swing and a miss from Henderson Perez. Logan Walters, 31 pitches thus far. He'll throw pitch number 32 upcoming. Another swing and a miss there from Perez, the catcher out of Libertador, Venezuela. Most previously played for the team that, if they mount a 17-run comeback, will be tied for first place in the Southern Division, the Grand Junction Rockies. 1-2, 1 out. Called, strike 3. Perez goes back, has a few more words. As the shortstop, Cameron Willman, stepping up. Willman popped up right on the first baseline, his most recent time up. Greenwald's on second. Thompson is on first. And Willman, the number 9 batter, ready to receive pitch number 1. Right now, Logan Walters pitched 1 2/3 solid innings thus far. Just trying to keep this game within striking distance. You talk to a lot of batters. Obviously, 3 runs is the situation for that's a strike in there, situation for a save where a pitcher comes in and inherits a 3-run lead or less and pitches at least an inning. They automatically get a save. The other situation that baseball players bring up a lot is just being able to keep it within that, if you hit a grand slam, you'll be okay. And that's 4 runs, obviously. So 3-4 runs, that's kind of the quote-unquote within reach feeling. That one missed the inside part of the zone, and Dean Miller, who was not happy with the pitch, kind of like that. That was a breaker that was called strike 3 on him. Probably shaking his head from left field. 1-1 now, 2 outs, runners on first and second. Runners are going. The throw to third gets into the outfield. It will be successfully stolen bases, as well as an E2 to score the run from third. And it makes it 10-5 in favor of the Paddleheads. That is not the first time this year that we have seen a catching error on a steal of third. I don't think at Flathead Field we've seen a player successfully thrown out at third by a Glacier Range rider. And that's not just this season, that's all time in this brand new ballpark. Foul ball there, count goes to 2-2 now. for Willman, who loses a chance to get an extra RBI if he was able to get both runners across. Now with one coming across, can only bring in total of 2 if he's able to get a home run. This hit over to third. Mccabe will field, and a long throw across the diamond can get out number 3. So it's an unearned run that'll go against Logan Walters, but it is a run that makes it 10-5 in favor of the Paddleheads. The Range Riders need some runs. We'll be right back for the bottom of the 8th. We're in the bottom of the 8th inning here. It is 10-5 in favor of the Glacier Range Riders' opponents, the Missoula Paddleheads. Sorry if I pump faked you out there. Sometimes you just start to say things and you realize that's not what you intended to say. We've all been there. I know you have. As it will be Sam Lynn Scott to lead it off. Nathan Alexander up again. He has a high knee kick there and finds the strike zone. On the first pitch he throws, count goes to 0-1. Lynn Scott on the season, 291, 3 home runs. That one misses high, counts now 1-1. This ball is up the chimney, and it will fall just on the field of play side of the netting. Fans were ready. They were charging. They were gearing up for it, but it did not fall to the other side. I didn't realize, I'm mostly at the games in the booths. In the booth. Went to a Mariners game recently. How much of just insanity there is around foul balls. And Joe List was talking about that. You got to give the foul ball to a kid, if you're able to get it. And I think it was at a Reds-Brewers game, as Lynn Scott struck out there swinging. I think it was at a Brewers-Reds game, where it was two middle-aged men fighting over a baseball. It's not a good look. Not a good look. But you always want to be the hero that makes that barehanded catch, especially because it does not feel good. And, you love that. claim to fame over pain. That's what I'm going to call it. As that's exactly what Joe List was talking about in the dugout for the Paddleheads. If you're in the bullpen, ball comes your way, you wear it. You don't move. You just take it. Joe said that was not really his mojo. He was going to jump out of the way. But, yeah, we love that claim to fame because of pain. That pitch misses the zone. Counts 2-1 right now to Brody Wofford, who is 1 for 3 tonight. If you're a fan of either of these teams and you're in the area, we encourage you to come down to the ballpark, try and get some foul balls tomorrow, as they'll play once more here. As that's a strike to make the count 2-2 now for Wofford. He's 1 for 3 with that double off the wall. 7:05 tomorrow night here at Flathead Field. You can get your tickets at GoRangeRiders.com. Foul ball keeps it at 2-2. Or if you're in the Missoula area, don't want to make the beautiful, beautiful drive. We're still, 4th of July was 2 days ago. We're still close enough to call it maybe holiday weekend time if you're taking a couple extra days off. So why not stick around? There's a swing and a miss. Wofford is down on the strikeout, and Dean Miller, who's 1 for 3 tonight, steps up. But like I was saying, take a beautiful drive down Flathead Lake. The drive between Missoula and here, out of the drives between the major cities in Montana, almost every one is absolutely gorgeous for stretches of it. The drive between here and Missoula, I think, takes the cake. I mean, I would have to go over all the kind of iterations of different drives, as that's a called strike in there. Of course, some are longer, so they got more views, more diverse views. If you're talking Missoula to Billings, which is a stretch all interstate the entire way, it's a fairly easy drive. You put it in cruise control at 80 miles per hour, which is the speed limit here on interstates in Montana. Foul ball makes it 0-2 to Dean Miller. And you get there, you go over a couple passes, across the Continental Divide. It's a good time. But I don't think it tops out. Tops out what you can do on the drive from the Bitterroot up to this Flathead Valley. 0-2 coming. Skips in the dirt. This isn't dirt, it's turf, but you know what I meant. 1-2, 2 outs. Dean Miller at the plate. Miller had a 2 RBI double today, but that was where the scoring stopped for the Glacier Range Riders. I made it 5-9, and since then just the run last inning, making it 10-5. Foul ball and a late swing by Miller. Just protects enough to keep alive. In the 9th inning for the Range Riders, we are guaranteed, even if Miller goes down here, we're guaranteed to see at least Morris, Mccabe, and Davis. Those are the batters that are guaranteed. And it looks like it will be up to them as this one's dribbled back to the pitcher who rifles it, man. Alexander, a fastball to first there. Great athletic play from the right-handed hurler for Missoula. He makes the 1-3 putout for out number 3 in the 8th. We head to the 9th, the last chance for some insurance for Missoula before big rally is needed in the bottom of the 9th. Don't go anywhere. It's 10-5 with 1 inning to play. Logan Walters is going to come out for one more inning of work, trying to minimize the damage done. He does have a run scored against him, but it was unearned. Called strike there to start off the at-bat. Brandon Riley, the leadoff man, 3 for 5 today. A great day for him. This one is lifted into center field. Mcconnell scuttles back a few steps before making the routine snag for out number 1. This defense has had to be running around a lot. 15 hits today, and it started out they were running all over the outfield after Missoula just came out, and it almost seemed like they were using a cheat code or something. Just hit, 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 hit. Next thing you knew, it was 7-0 in favor of the visitors. McLean O'Connor, also 3 for 5, stepping up. Of course, I should say Riley is now not 3 for 5. He's 3 for 6. They're playing him to either push or pull. I think there's a pretty big gap in the middle there for O'Connor to try and get the ball. That one's a called strike. Counts now 1-1. 10 runs, 15 hits, and 1 error for Missoula, while the Range Riders have 5 and 2 errors. 5 runs on 5 hits. 1-1 is swung on. A foul ball hits off of Davis. Didn't love getting tagged with that one there, but catchers have always felt worse. Mosquitoes starting to make their way into my booth up here, so if you hear the occasional slap on my table or anything like that, just know that I'm just trying to save my blood. 1-2, 1 out, bases empty here. Walters just soared that one up and over the head and glove of his catcher Davis. Counts now 2-2. What does this mean in the big scheme of things? If you are a Missoula Paddleheads fan, you love a win no matter what, but you definitely love a win when it moves you closer to booking your playoff ticket. Finishing this off means the magic number, which, again, don't know your baseball knowledge, don't want to try and over-explain what you already know, but for those who are maybe a little bit newer to the sport, the magic number is most often used in baseball, and it says how many games do you need to win to clinch a playoff spot. There will be a walk to O'Connor. Of course, everybody's magic number on day one, technically they don't have it because it's a tie and then you go to tiebreaker scenarios. But the magic number on day one, in theory, of a MLB season is 162. You win 162, you're guaranteed a playoff spot. But of course, teams go up, teams go down, and situations change. And so like Missoula now, because of this tear they've been on, their magic number is just 7. They win 7 games, they guarantee themselves a spot. However, every time they win, they move that number down, of course, as the ball misses to Lamar Sparks. And if the team in second place loses, that also cuts the 1 point, 1 win off their magic number. Hits the strike zone there. Count goes to 1-1. So it's 7 right now for Missoula. They hold on to win this game, which are up 5 runs right now in the 9th. They hold on to win it. That magic number moves down to 6. Problem is that there's 2 teams in second place and they're playing each other. So they are guaranteed to be in a situation where the one of the second place teams will win. So they can't cut it down by 2. But they're doing all they can right now to make sure that really by the end of this series with Glacier, if it continues to go their way, they can book their ticket to the Pioneer League playoffs and keep their hopes of repeating well within reach. Swung on and put into the right center gap. This one is going to go quicker off the wall than originally thought. It's going to be 2. And now rounding for third is Lamar Sparks, and the reigning PBL player of the week has an RBI stand-up triple to make it 11-5 in favor of Missoula. That one just glided off the turf and was an easy ticket to the wall as soon as it hit the turf, and you could see what pace it had. 11-5 is our score here in the top of the ninth. Called strike there against Jason Newman. Honestly, one of the paddleheads that have struggled the most in this game, which if you told Michael Schlack that Jason Newman was 1 for 5 with only a single, as that one misses, not by much. If you told him that, first of all, he'd probably be very aware that his team is good 1 through 9 and would not be completely freaked out, but he would probably not expect to be up by 6 runs. That one's in the dirt. Blocked by Davis. Count goes to 2-1. 1 out here. This 11-5 contest, now 11 runs on 16 hits for the Zootown Paddleheads. Foul ball. Makes count 2-2 now. The cool promotion that the Paddleheads have going on this weekend on Saturday and Sunday, it's Osprey weekend, which we're going to delve a little bit into the history right now of the Pioneer League. The Missoula Osprey were what the team in Missoula was formerly known as. 2-2 swung on and popped up. Foul. And so I believe they're wearing throwback jerseys. They're having all sorts of throwback to honor, that team that really they rebranded in 2020 or 2021. This last season, I believe, is their first season as the Paddleheads rather than the Osprey, when the league kind of rebranded with the switch from affiliated to independent ball. It's another foul ball by Newman. The Osprey look was incredibly simple and very different from the Paddleheads look. It has 12,000 alternate jerseys, all sorts of colors. You're seeing the tie-dye jerseys they're rocking right now as one of their, jerseys that they wear a fair amount. And they got those black Zootowns that they wore yesterday. Very different. Osprey were, I think, pinstripes. But I might be wrong on that. That one's hit over to third. Going to be a long run as it's put on target and in time for out number 2. Lamar Sparks does score from third to make it 12-5 in favor of the Paddleheads. An RBI for Newman, but he does go to 1 for 6 today. Tony Hernandez, our PA announcer, had the same thought that I had. That I thought that was the third out of the inning for a second. I realized no, we're only 2 gone here. So Tony Hernandez started reading out. The final line for the half inning. This one's blasted. This one is going to get down in the gap. It's going to one hop and then hit off the Budweiser sign on that 16-foot fence. A stand-up double from Nick Gatewood. Maybe the Paddleheads aren't done adding insurance yet. I mentioned they were Missoula Osprey. Of course, usually you have your sports teams end in S. They are plural. Of course, Osprey, the plural of Osprey is Osprey. That's why, it's kind of like the Stanford Cardinal. Cardinal is the cardinal tree. Plural is cardinal, I think. Maybe it's just a singular tree. I'm going to have to check on that. I just know that it is cardinal. Swing and a miss. And I also know it is a tree. Stanford tree. Cardinal tree. 0-1 is the count to Keaton Greenwald. This is Range Riders After Dark. 2 outs. Runner on second. Gatewood is the man on second. That one misses the zone. Count goes to 1-1 as I drop my pen. It's 12-5. I'll update the scoreboard for you so you're not confused. It's an entirely one-man crew. And that one man is me. This one hit out into right field. And Lynn Scott, the one man to grab out number 3. 2 runs do come across for Missoula. It needs to be a 7 spot for Glacier if they want to extend this ball game. Don't go anywhere. A big rally coming up in the bottom of the 9th. It's Livingston Morris that will lead off the bottom of the 9th. Nathan Alexander coming out. He's going to get a save if he is able to finish this contest off. No action going on in the Missoula Paddleheads bullpen. Joe List said he loved hanging out there. A lot of funny guys. That's the life of a bullpen pitcher. You gotta allow yourself to relax a little bit as the first pitch is sky high, and O'Connor staggers under it before doing a little limbo as he contorts to catch it cleanly. 1 pitch, 1 out for Nathan Alexander. Looking to get a save for himself here. Nathan Alexander does have 3 professional saves to his credit. Did not get any with the Roadrunners in college, but does have 2 from last year with the Boulders, and 1 when he was with the Lumber Kings. First pitch to Eddie Mccabe is up and away. Mccabe, tough night for him as he's 0 for 3, grounded into 2 different double plays, including that one marvelous, marvelous play from Cameron Willman. One, 1 out, bases empty coming into Mccabe. That one splashes to the zone. Mccabe played his college ball at Georgetown, where he is a rookie technically from that. He does have experience with the Voyagers, but only just month that he spent with the Voyagers this season. Does not strike out on that pitch as it just misses for a ball. Counts now 2-2, 1 out. Bases empty for the Range Riders' third baseman. Davis on deck. He's guaranteed an at-bat. And we will get there now after the strikeout to Eddie Mccabe. Now we get into the point of the last chance for Glacier as the fans dwindle away here in this ballpark. It was a 7 spot put up in the top of the first inning, and that 7 seemed to prove the difference here at Flathead Field, as the margin right now is 7. 12-5. So our score here, first pitch misses high to Brenton Davis. 0 for 3 is Davis tonight. Just 5 hits for the Range Riders. Looked like maybe there was some life coming in the bottom of the 3rd inning, but after 4 runs put across, no mas for Glacier. Spanish there. There's a little more of Range Riders After Dark. Just getting over 3 hours of game time here. 3 hours and 10 minutes right now. Long windup. Alexander puts that one up and in, 3-0, and Aaron Broussard now sitting on deck, considering the possibility that he gets a chance. Three one, get me over, gets over. Three one, 2 outs, bases empty. The last chance for Glacier. As we're going to get some heckling from the crowd there as Alexander holding off on firing the pitch. And we'll still hold on, eventually agreeing to the pitch, and another long windup. 3-1. Finds the zone. We go full. 3-2, 2 outs. Nobody on for Brenton Davis. A strike ends this ball game. A ball continues it to at least one more batter. And it is a catcher's interference. Keep the game alive as Perez put his glove into the path of Davis. Davis got really close to him there. I hope he was just asking him if he was okay. It didn't seem like they were fighting words, but he did kind of get up into the mask there of Perez. But a catcher's interference. CI on your scorecard. And we extend this ball game. And we end this ball game. Floating out to right field and caught by Lamar Sparks for the eventual out number 3. Nathan Alexander, his first save as a Missoula Paddlehead. And we'll tell you about the winning pitcher in a second as well. We'll play a little bit more with the new webcam installation that I've installed here, as you get to see me up in the booth here to read you the final numbers from today's contest. Thank you all for joining us so much. Hope you enjoyed the game. I'm sure you did if you're a Missoula Paddleheads fan. The winning pitcher tonight was Domingo Pena, 5 innings pitched, 4 earned runs against him. The 5th was unearned, 6 strikeouts and 3 walks for him. The losing pitcher, Rob Hamby, allowed those 7 earned runs to start off the contest before getting back on track, throwing the final 3 innings strong. Did not allow a run in that time, but I already said those 7 runs end up being the difference in the 7-run ball game. And, of course, the save. Already mentioned Nathan Alexander going more than 3 innings to finish the ball game. Gets the save. No earned runs, 4 strikeouts, and 1 walk for him. The leader on the Range Riders in terms of hits. It was a 5-way tie between Broussard, Cash, Linscott, Wofford, and Miller, who all had a hit. Wofford and Miller each got doubles, and 2 RBIs for both Linscott and Miller lead the squad. 2 runs scored by Ben Mcconnell. On the other side, plenty more hits were cracked by the Missoula Paddleheads. You saw 3 hits from Riley, 3 hits from Sparks. Thompson had 3 as well as O'Connor. The late birthday 3-for-6 game for him. In terms of extra base hits, there was 1 home run. That was Gatewood, who went yard early in this contest. It was Lamar Sparks, who hit a triple. And then we had doubles by Gatewood, Sparks, Thompson, and O'Connor. The leader in RBIs was Lamar Sparks. He had 3 on the day, and 2 runs were scored by Sparks, as well as Willman and O'Connor. That'll do it for today's contest. Thank you so much for joining us. It is a final score of 12-5 in favor of the visiting Missoula Paddleheads. We hope you join us tomorrow night. It is a 7:05 first pitch here from Flathead Field, and then the series shifts to Missoula for the next 3 games on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Once again, thank you so much for joining us on the broadcast tonight. My name is Scott Gladstone. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and please stay safe out there.